They remember details you mentioned once. When someone remembers a small detail you shared only once, it can reveal more than simple good memory. Most people forget passing comments, especially when the conversation moves quickly. But when a person is emotionally interested in you, their mind gives your words extra importance. A favorite snack, a childhood fear, a place you want to visit, or a date you casually mentioned may stay with them because you stayed with them. This signal often appears quietly. They may bring up a song you said you loved, ask about an appointment you mentioned days ago, or choose something based on a preference you barely remember sharing. What makes this powerful is not the detail itself, but the attention behind it. They were not only hearing you, they were storing pieces of you. Emotional attraction makes people curious. Curiosity sharpens memory because the brain holds on to information connected to interest. When someone wants to understand you, even ordinary comments can feel important to them. Your words become clues about what makes you happy, what worries you, and how they can become closer to you. Still, one remembered detail does not always prove romantic desire. Some people are observant. The pattern matters. If they repeatedly remember your preferences, your stories, and your emotional reactions, it suggests that your presence carries unusual weight in their mind. There is something deeply affecting about being remembered. It creates the feeling that you were not just another voice in the room. When their actions show that your smallest words remained with them, their attention may be revealing what they have not yet found the courage to say openly. Their voice changes around you. A sudden change in someone's voice can reveal feelings they are trying hard to hide. When attraction is present, the voice often becomes softer, warmer, deeper, faster, or slightly more playful. The person may not notice the shift, but their body does. Emotion changes breathing, muscle tension, and vocal rhythm, causing their voice to respond before their words reveal anything. Some people speak more gently because they want to create closeness. Others lower their tone to sound calmer, more confident, or more attractive. A usually serious person may become lighter and more teasing around you, while someone normally loud may suddenly speak with unusual care. These changes often happen because your presence makes them emotionally alert. The strongest sign is contrast. Listen to how they speak with friends, co-workers, or strangers, then notice what changes when they turn to you. Their voice may become more animated, their laughter may sound fuller, or they may pause more often because they are carefully choosing their words. They may even stumble, repeat themselves, or speak too quickly when nervous excitement takes over. Attraction can also make people match your vocal energy. If you speak softly, they may soften too. If you become excited, their tone may rise with yours. This unconscious adjustment creates emotional harmony and helps them feel closer to you. Still, a changing voice alone does not prove desire. Mood, stress, and personality can affect speech, but when the change appears mainly around you, repeats often, and comes with stronger attention, longer conversations, and visible nervousness, their voice may be expressing what they are not ready to admit, even to themselves or anyone else. They match your speaking pace. When someone begins matching your speaking pace, it may be a hidden sign that they feel drawn to you. People naturally adjust their rhythm when they want a conversation to feel smoother, safer, and more connected. If you speak slowly, they may slow down. If you become excited and speak faster, they may quietly follow your energy. This often happens without conscious effort. Attraction makes people pay closer attention to how you communicate, not just what you say. Their mind begins adapting to your tone, pauses, and rhythm because emotional interest creates a desire for harmony. They want the interaction to feel natural, and matching your pace helps create that feeling. The most revealing part is the change. They may normally speak quickly with others, but become calmer with you. They may usually be quiet, yet become more animated when you are excited. This adjustment suggests that your emotional state matters to them. Matching your pace can also make you feel strangely understood. Conversations seem easier, silences feel less awkward, and both of you begin responding in a similar flow. That sense of rhythm can create intimacy before either person openly admits attraction. Still, this signal should be noticed as part of a pattern. Some people naturally adapt to everyone, but when they consistently match your pace, mirror your energy, maintain strong attention, and keep conversations going, It may show that they are emotionally tuning themselves to you in a way they do not do with others. They notice your mood shifts quickly. When someone notices your mood changing before you say anything, it can reveal how closely they are watching you. Most people only respond to obvious emotions. Someone who wants you may notice the smaller signs, the change in your eyes, the silence in your voice, the way your energy suddenly drops, or the moment your smile stops feeling real. Attraction makes attention sharper. A person who feels emotionally drawn to you becomes more sensitive to your expressions, tone, and behavior. They may ask if something is wrong even when everyone else thinks you seem fine. They may notice that you became quieter after a certain comment or that your excitement disappeared when someone entered the room. What makes this signal powerful is the emotional investment behind it. They are not only looking at you, they are tracking how you feel. Your happiness affects their energy, and your discomfort creates concern. They may try to cheer you up, change the subject, stay closer, or quietly offer support without making the moment feel heavy. Sometimes, they may even become unsettled when your mood shifts because they wonder whether they caused it. This can make them more careful, attentive, or eager to repair the connection. Still, emotional awareness does not always mean romantic desire. Some people are naturally empathetic. The deeper sign is consistency. When they repeatedly notice changes others miss, remember what triggered them and respond with unusual care. It may mean your emotional world matters to them more than they are willing to say. They keep finished conversations going. When someone keeps a conversation alive after it has naturally ended, it often means they are not ready to lose your attention. The topic may be finished, but they suddenly ask another question, bring up something random, send one more message, or return to an earlier point just to keep the connection open. This signal is easy to miss because it can look like simple friendliness. The deeper clue is effort. They are searching for reasons to stay in contact even when there is nothing important left to say. The conversation itself may not matter as much as the feeling of still having access to you. Attraction often creates reluctance around endings. Saying goodbye means the moment is over, and someone who wants you may quietly resist that. They may stretch a short exchange into a long one, reply with another question instead of a final answer, or introduce a new subject just when the conversation begins fading. In person, they may linger, repeat something already discussed, or delay walking away. Through messages, they may send a joke, a photo, or a small thought that could have waited until later. These are often emotional extensions, not necessary communication. The strongest sign is consistency. Anyone can continue one conversation out of boredom or politeness, but when they repeatedly revive fading chats, avoid final replies, and seem to create endless reasons to talk, it may show that your attention has become emotionally rewarding to them. They are not only enjoying the conversation, they are trying to postpone the moment when they no longer have you. They mention things that remind them of you. When someone often tells you that a song, place, joke, meal, or random moment reminded them of you, it can reveal how often you occupy their thoughts. They are not only thinking about you during conversations. Your presence has begun following them into ordinary parts of their day. Attraction creates mental association. The brain starts connecting a person with certain feelings, memories, and experiences. A song may remind them of your voice. A restaurant may bring back something you once said. A small joke may make them picture your reaction before anyone else's. What makes this signal powerful is that it happens when you are not there. They are carrying pieces of you into moments you never shared. Then, instead of keeping the thought private, they choose to tell you. That often means they want you to know that you have become memorable to them. Sometimes, the things they mention seem insignificant. They may send a picture of something you like, quote a phrase you once used, or say, "This made me think of you." The object itself may be ordinary, but the emotional meaning is not. It shows that their mind is actively linking their world to yours. Still, one reminder does not prove romantic interest. Friends also think of each other. The deeper sign is repetition and emotional tone. When they regularly connect songs, places, plans, and experiences to you, especially with warmth or excitement, it may mean you are becoming part of how they interpret their everyday life. They notice who gets your attention. When someone closely notices who receives your time, laughter, or interest, it may reveal feelings they are trying to keep hidden. They may not openly admit jealousy, but their attention shifts whenever another person becomes important in the conversation. They may ask who you are talking to, why someone keeps messaging you, or how close you are to a certain person. Sometimes the questions sound casual, but the emotional weight behind them feels different. They are not only curious about your social life, they are quietly measuring their place in it. Attraction makes people sensitive to competition. When they want you, your attention begins to feel valuable. Seeing you give that attention to someone else can create discomfort, even if they have no right to feel possessive. Their mood may change, their energy may drop, or they may suddenly become more interested in winning your focus back. They might interrupt more, become playful, move closer, or start telling stories designed to impress you. Others may hide their reaction by becoming quiet or pretending not to care. The strongest clue is how quickly they notice changes in your attention, especially when nobody else seems concerned. Still, this signal should not be confused with controlling behavior. Healthy interest respects your freedom, but when someone consistently tracks who makes you smile, who sits near you, and who seems emotionally close to you, it may show that losing your attention feels more personal to them than they are willing to admit. They remember your schedule. When someone remembers your schedule without needing reminders, it may reveal how much space you occupy in their mind. Most people forget casual details about another person's day, but someone who wants you may remember when you work, when you study, when you are usually free, or what time you normally get home. This attention often looks small, but it carries emotional weight. They may message you after an important appointment, avoid disturbing you during a busy hour, or ask how something went at exactly the right time. That means they were not only listening when you spoke, they were mentally keeping track of your life. Attraction makes ordinary details feel important. Your routine becomes useful information because it helps them know when they can reach you, support you, or create more time together. They may casually say, "Aren't you usually busy on Tuesdays?" Or, "You finish early today, right?" Those moments can reveal that your availability matters to them. Sometimes, they remember your schedule better than you expect because they are quietly looking for opportunities to connect. They may time their messages when they know you are free or suggest plans around your routine without making it obvious. Still, remembering one event does not prove romantic interest. Some people are naturally organized and attentive. The deeper signal is consistency. When they repeatedly remember your plans, check in at meaningful times, and adjust their own actions around your availability, it may show that your daily life has become emotionally important to them. They place themselves where you can notice them. When someone repeatedly places themselves where you can easily see them, it may be a quiet attempt to attract your attention without directly asking for it. They may sit across from you, stand within your line of sight, walk past more often than necessary, or choose a position where your eyes are likely to meet. This signal is subtle because they may never openly approach you. Instead, they create opportunities to be noticed. Attraction can make people want visibility before they feel brave enough to risk rejection. Being near you allows them to study your reaction while still pretending the moment happened naturally. They may become louder, more expressive, or more animated once they know you are watching. They might laugh with friends, adjust their appearance, or begin doing something that highlights their confidence. The behavior is not always dramatic. Sometimes simply remaining nearby is enough. The strongest clue is repetition. One shared space means little, especially in school, work, or social settings. But when they consistently choose positions close to you, move when you move, or appear where your attention naturally falls, their location may not be accidental. They may also check whether you notice them. A quick glance, a small smile, or a sudden change in posture can reveal that your reaction matters. Attraction often begins with the desire to be seen. When someone keeps entering your awareness without giving a clear reason, they may be hoping you notice their presence before they have the courage to reveal their interest. They ask questions they may already know. When someone asks you questions they may already know the answer to, the real goal may not be information. They may simply be looking for another reason to hear your voice, continue the conversation, or create a moment of connection without making their interest obvious. They might ask what time you finish work, even though you told them before, ask whether you like something they have already seen you enjoy, or bring up a story they clearly remember. On the surface, it can look like forgetfulness, but sometimes the question is only a doorway. Attraction makes people search for safe ways to stay close. Directly saying, "I wanted to talk to you," can feel too revealing. Asking a small question feels easier because it gives them a natural excuse to reach out. The answer may matter less than the interaction that follows. The strongest clue is what happens after you respond. If they immediately expand the topic, ask follow-up questions, tease you, or keep the exchange going, the original question was probably never the real purpose. They were creating access to your attention. Some people also ask questions they know because they enjoy hearing how you explain things. Your expressions, opinions, and reactions may feel emotionally rewarding to them. Of course, people forget details. One repeated question means little, but when someone frequently asks obvious things, especially at moments when there is no practical reason to contact you, they may be using curiosity to hide a simpler truth. They wanted another chance to connect with you. They copy your phrases. When someone begins using words, expressions, or little sayings that sound exactly like yours, it may be a hidden sign that you have entered their mind more deeply than they realize. People often copy language from those they admire, enjoy, or feel emotionally close to. This usually happens without planning. They hear the way you describe things, the jokes you repeat, or the phrases you use when excited or annoyed. Over time, those words begin appearing in their own speech. It is not always imitation in the obvious sense. It is often unconscious emotional absorption. Attraction makes people more receptive to your habits. Your voice becomes familiar, and familiarity creates comfort. By using your phrases, they may be quietly bringing a piece of you into the way they communicate. It can also show that they pay close attention when you speak. The strongest clue is when the phrase is unusual or strongly connected to you. If they suddenly use wording they never used before, especially after spending more time around you, the change may not be random. They may even smile after saying it, as though they know you will notice. This can create a private sense of connection. Shared language begins to form, and certain words start carrying meaning that only the two of you understand. Still, people naturally pick up language from friends, coworkers, and social media. The deeper signal is repetition combined with other signs. When they copy your phrases, mirror your tone, remember your words, and seem pleased when you notice, it may show that your presence is beginning to shape them. They watch your reaction after impressing you. When someone does something impressive and immediately looks toward you, your reaction may matter more to them than anyone else's. They may tell a clever story, show a skill, make the group laugh, mention an achievement, or handle a difficult situation confidently. Then quickly check your face. That glance is often more revealing than the performance itself. They are searching for approval, admiration, or a sign that they affected you. When someone wants you, being impressive is not only about looking good, it is about becoming more desirable in your eyes. Attraction makes people unusually sensitive to the opinion of the person they like. Praise from others may feel pleasant, but praise from you feels personal. Your smile, laughter, surprise, or attention can give them an emotional reward that they quietly crave. They may become more animated when you are present, tell stories with greater energy, or emphasize qualities they believe you value. If you admire intelligence, they may highlight their knowledge. If you like confidence, they may act bolder. If humor gets your attention, they may become more playful. The strongest clue appears immediately afterward. Instead of enjoying the group's response, their eyes find you. If you look impressed, they may smile, relax, or continue performing. If you seem uninterested, their energy may drop. This does not always mean romantic desire. People also seek approval from friends or respected individuals. But when they repeatedly try to impress you, study your reaction and adjust themselves based on what you admire. Your opinion may carry emotional importance they have not openly confessed. They go quiet. When someone mentions your admirer. When someone suddenly becomes quiet after another person mentions your admirer, their silence may be hiding an emotion they do not want exposed. A lively conversation can change in seconds. They may stop joking, avoid eye contact, look distracted, or listen more carefully than before. That silence often comes from emotional discomfort. If they want you, hearing that someone else may have your attention can make them feel threatened, disappointed, or uncertain about their place in your life. Instead of reacting openly and revealing too much, they withdraw. Some people become quiet because they are studying your response. They want to know whether you smile, deny the connection, seem excited, or change the subject. Your reaction may tell them whether they still have a chance, so they watch without making their own feelings obvious. Others go silent because jealousy creates an internal conflict. They may feel they have no right to be bothered, especially if neither of you has admitted attraction. This forces them to hide the emotion rather than express it. The strongest clue is the contrast. If they were relaxed moments earlier but suddenly become distant, tense, or unusually serious when your admirer is mentioned, the topic has touched something personal. Still, silence alone does not confirm desire. They may dislike the person, feel awkward, or simply have nothing to say. But when this reaction happens repeatedly, especially alongside curiosity about your dating life, changes in mood, and attempts to regain your attention, their silence may be saying what their pride refuses to admit. They mention future events to test your interest. When someone casually mentions a future event and watches how you respond, they may be testing whether you want to spend more time with them. They might bring up a concert, party, movie, trip, or restaurant without directly inviting you. The event sounds like ordinary conversation, but your reaction is what they are really waiting for. This indirect approach protects them from rejection. Asking you openly can feel risky, especially when they are unsure how you feel. By mentioning the event first, they can measure your excitement without exposing their intentions. If you show interest, they may quickly suggest going together. If you seem indifferent, they can pretend it was only a random topic. Attraction often makes people search for signs that a connection could continue beyond the present moment. Mentioning future plans allows them to picture you inside their life without saying it too clearly. They may say, "You would probably love that place," or "We should try that someday," then pause to see whether you agree. The strongest clue is repetition. They keep bringing up events that match your interests, mention dates when they know you may be free, or return to the subject after you respond positively. They may also remember your answer and later turn the casual idea into a real plan. Still, people often discuss future events with friends. The deeper signal is how carefully they study your reaction and how quickly they include you. When someone repeatedly plants future possibilities between you, they may be quietly asking whether you can imagine them there too. They notice small appearance changes. When someone quickly notices a small change in your appearance, it may reveal how closely they pay attention to you. A different hairstyle, new glasses, a changed perfume, a trimmed beard, fresh nails, or even a shirt you have not worn before may stand out to them immediately. Most people notice only obvious changes. Someone who wants you may recognize details because they already have a strong mental picture of how you usually look. That means they are not simply seeing you when you appear. They have been observing and remembering you. Attraction sharpens visual attention. The person may notice that you styled your hair differently, look more tired than usual, or seem especially confident in a certain outfit. Their compliment may sound casual, but the speed and accuracy behind it can be revealing. Sometimes they notice before anyone else does. They may smile, look at you a little longer, or ask whether something has changed. Even when they cannot identify the exact difference, they sense that something about you feels new. The strongest clue is consistency. They remember what you wore before. Notice when you repeat a favorite style, and recognize subtle changes others overlook. Their attention may also become more intense when the change makes you look especially attractive. Still, noticing appearance does not automatically prove romantic interest. Some people are naturally observant or interested in fashion, but when they repeatedly notice your smallest changes, compliment them warmly, and seem emotionally affected by how you look, their eyes may be revealing how often they have already been studying you. They keep reminders of shared moments. When someone keeps small reminders of moments you shared, it may reveal that those experiences meant more to them than they admitted. A photo, message, receipt, gift, joke, voice note, or ordinary object can become emotionally important because it is connected to you. People usually preserve what they do not want to lose. When attraction is growing, even simple memories can feel special. A casual outing may remain vivid because of how they felt beside you. A short message may be saved because it brought comfort, excitement, or hope at the right moment. They may revisit old conversations, keep pictures you forgot about, or remember exactly where something happened. Sometimes they bring up a shared memory with unusual warmth, as though they have replayed it many times privately. The event itself may have seemed ordinary to you, but to them, it became part of a deeper emotional story. The strongest clue is the meaning they attach to the reminder. They may smile differently when they mention it, become quiet for a second, or protect the item more carefully than expected. They are not only preserving an object, they are preserving the feeling connected to it. Attraction often turns ordinary moments into emotional landmarks. The first long conversation, an inside joke, a small act of kindness, or a look that lasted too long can become something they quietly return to when they miss you. Friends also keep memories, so one saved item proves little. But when someone repeatedly holds on to reminders of your time together and brings them back with emotion, those moments may still be living inside them. They help before you ask. When someone notices what you need and helps before you ask, it may reveal a level of attention that goes beyond ordinary politeness. They see the problem early, step in quickly, and try to make things easier without waiting for you to request support. Attraction often makes people more alert to your comfort. They notice when you are carrying too much, struggling with a task, feeling overwhelmed, or quietly needing assistance. Their response can feel almost immediate because part of their attention is already focused on you. This help may appear in small ways. They save you a seat, bring something you forgot, handle a task for you, explain something confusing, or check whether you need anything before others even notice. The action itself may seem simple, but the timing makes it meaningful. Helping can also become a safe way to express care. Some people find it difficult to admit their feelings directly, so they show interest through usefulness. Being needed gives them a reason to stay close, create trust, and become part of your daily life. The strongest clue is consistency. They do not help only when everyone is watching. They notice quiet needs, remember what usually stresses you, and offer support even when there is no reward or praise. Still, kindness alone does not prove romantic desire. Some people are naturally generous. The deeper signal appears when their help is especially focused on you, emotionally warm, and paired with concern, attention, and a clear desire to make your life lighter. They act differently around you. When someone changes noticeably around you, it may reveal feelings they are trying to control. A confident person may become nervous. A quiet person may suddenly become talkative. Someone usually serious may become playful, while someone naturally loud may soften the moment you appear. Attraction often disrupts normal behavior because your presence carries emotional weight. They become more aware of how they look, sound, and behave. Even simple interactions can feel important, making them overthink their words, adjust their posture, or react more strongly than usual. The clearest sign is contrast. Notice how they behave with everyone else, then compare it with how they act around you. They may laugh more, speak faster, become unusually helpful, or struggle to maintain eye contact. Sometimes they appear calm at first, then become awkward when the conversation turns personal. Some people try to impress you by becoming bolder. Others protect themselves by acting distant, teasing you, or pretending not to care. Both reactions can come from the same fear. They do not want their interest to become obvious. Their behavior may also shift depending on who is present. They may be warm when you are alone, but guarded around friends because they fear being exposed. They may watch you closely, then look away when noticed. Still, people act differently for many reasons. The deeper signal is repetition. When their personality consistently changes around you, especially alongside nervousness, extra attention, and emotional sensitivity, your presence may be affecting them more than they are ready to admit. They look at you. When everyone laughs. When someone looks at you during a shared laugh, it may reveal whose reaction matters most to them. In a group, people usually turn toward the person they feel closest to, most curious about, or most emotionally connected with. The laugh may belong to everyone, but their eyes search for you. This happens because attraction creates a desire to share emotion. They want to know whether you found the moment funny, whether you are enjoying yourself, and whether both of you are feeling the same thing. Your smile becomes part of their own enjoyment. Sometimes, the glance lasts only a second. They may laugh, look directly at you, then quickly turn away. That brief moment can feel strangely personal, as though the two of you shared something inside a crowded room. The strongest clue is repetition. Notice whether their eyes consistently find you whenever something funny, surprising, or exciting happens. They may also watch your reaction after telling a joke, even when other people respond more loudly. This suggests that your approval carries extra emotional value. Looking at you during laughter can also be a quiet form of bonding. Shared amusement creates closeness, and eye contact strengthens it. Without saying anything, they are inviting you into a private emotional exchange. Still, one glance proves little. People often look toward friends naturally, but when they repeatedly search for your face in joyful moments, smile more when you smile, and seem disappointed when you miss the joke, they may be revealing who they most want to share the moment with. They remember your likes and dislikes. When someone remembers what you enjoy and what you avoid, it may reveal how closely they listen when you speak. They know your favorite food, the music you enjoy, the places you dislike, or the little things that make you uncomfortable. Attraction makes personal details feel important. What you like becomes useful because it helps them make you happy. What you dislike matters because they do not want to disappoint you. Even small preferences can stay in their mind because they are connected to your emotions. They may choose a restaurant you once mentioned, send you a song that matches your taste, or avoid suggesting something they know you hate. These actions can seem ordinary, but they show that your words did not disappear after the conversation ended. The strongest clue is accuracy. They remember details you shared casually, sometimes long after you forgot mentioning them. They may even correct someone else about your preferences, or prepare something with your taste in mind. This kind of attention can make you feel deeply seen. It shows that they are not only interested in talking to you, they are learning how to understand you better. Still, remembering preferences does not always mean romantic desire. Close friends and thoughtful people do this too. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly use what they remember to create comfort, plan meaningful moments, and make choices that place your happiness at the center of their attention. They subtly check if you are single. When someone tries to discover whether you are single without asking directly, it may reveal interest they are not ready to expose. They may mention dating casually, ask who you spend weekends with, or bring up a person in your photos to see how you respond. The questions often sound harmless. They may ask, "Does your partner like that too?" or joke about someone waiting for you at home. If you correct them and say you are single, they may seem unusually pleased, curious, or suddenly more relaxed. Attraction makes relationship status important. Before someone risks flirting, opening up, or getting closer, they often want to know whether there is already someone in the way. Asking directly can feel too obvious, so they search for safer ways to gather the answer. They may also use mutual friends, study your social media, or listen closely whenever your dating life enters the conversation. Sometimes, they mention their own single status immediately afterward, creating an opening without openly declaring interest. The strongest clue is how they react to the answer. If they quickly ask follow-up questions, become more playful, or begin showing stronger attention after learning you are available, the curiosity was probably personal. Still, people sometimes ask about relationship status out of ordinary interest. The deeper signal is repetition, careful wording, and emotional reaction. When someone repeatedly circles around your love life while avoiding the direct question, they may be trying to protect themselves from rejection while quietly finding out whether they have a chance. They brighten when you arrive. When someone's face, voice, or energy changes the moment you appear, it may reveal how strongly your presence affects them. They may smile more naturally, sit up straighter, become more talkative, or suddenly seem more alive than they did seconds earlier. This reaction often happens before they have time to control it. Attraction can create an instant emotional lift because seeing you activates excitement, comfort, and anticipation. Their body responds first, even if their words remain casual. The strongest clue is contrast. Notice how they looked before you arrived and how quickly they changed afterward. They may have seemed bored, tired, or distracted, then become attentive as soon as they noticed you. Their eyes may brighten, their tone may warm, and their focus may move away from everyone else. They may also try to hide the reaction. Some people look away, suppress a smile, or act unusually calm because they do not want others to notice. But the shift still appears in small ways, especially in their posture and expression. Your arrival may also change how they behave with the group. They may start joking more, speaking louder, or finding reasons to include you in the conversation. This is often an unconscious attempt to draw your attention and keep you nearby. Still, people brighten around close friends too. The deeper signal is repetition and intensity. When their mood consistently improves the moment you enter and their attention stays focused on you afterward, your presence may mean far more to them than they openly admit. They delay. Leaving when you are nearby. When someone keeps finding small reasons not to leave while you are still there, it may reveal that your presence is harder for them to walk away from than they want to admit. They may check their phone, restart a finished conversation, offer help, or suddenly remember something else to say. The delay often looks casual. They may insist they are about to go, yet remain for several more minutes. Sometimes they move slowly, stand near the exit, or wait to see whether you will give them another reason to stay. The moment should be ending, but they quietly resist it. Attraction can make separation feel disappointing, even after a brief interaction. Leaving means losing access to your voice, attention, and energy. Instead of admitting they want more time with you, they stretch the moment in ways that feel safer. The strongest clue is contrast. They may leave quickly when you are absent, but linger whenever you are nearby. If you begin talking to them again, their energy may lift immediately, as though that was what they were hoping for. Some people also delay leaving because they want a private moment. They may wait until others walk away, hoping for one last conversation, a longer goodbye, or a chance to be alone with you. Still, lingering does not always mean romantic interest. They may be bored, polite, or unhurried. But when they repeatedly postpone leaving, watch for your reaction, and seem disappointed when the moment finally ends, they may not be delaying the exit. They may be delaying the loss of you. They ask friends about you. When someone asks mutual friends about you instead of coming directly to you, it may reveal interest mixed with caution. They want information, but they do not want to expose their feelings too soon. So they quietly ask what you are like, whether you are single, who you spend time with, or what you have said about them. This often happens when attraction is present, but confidence is missing. Asking you directly could create embarrassment or rejection. Friends feel safer because they can provide answers without forcing the person to reveal too much. The questions may sound casual, but the pattern matters. They may ask where you were, why you missed an event, what you enjoy, or whether you are seeing someone. Sometimes they ask a friend to mention their name just to discover how you react. The strongest clue is when the information is not necessary. They could easily ask you, yet they choose indirect routes. That suggests they are emotionally invested in the answer and careful about how much they reveal. They may also use friends to test the situation. A mutual friend might tease you about them, ask whether you find them attractive, or create opportunities for both of you to spend time together. These moments are not always accidental. Still, friends ask about people for many reasons. Curiosity alone does not prove desire, but when someone repeatedly gathers personal details, checks your relationship status, and seems especially interested in what you think of them, they may be trying to understand whether getting closer to you is emotionally safe. They create private jokes with you. When someone creates jokes that only the two of you understand, it may reveal a desire to build a private world inside a public connection. The joke may begin with a small mistake, a shared experience, a strange comment, or something ordinary that suddenly becomes meaningful between you. Private jokes create emotional closeness because they separate your bond from everyone else. Other people may hear the words, but only you understand why they matter. That shared meaning can make the connection feel special, almost like a secret language. Attraction often makes people search for reasons to feel unique in your life. A private joke gives them something they can return to whenever they want your attention. They may mention it across the room, send it in a message, or use it when the conversation begins fading. The strongest clue is how often they bring it back. They may smile before saying it, wait for your reaction, or look pleased when you respond immediately. The joke itself may not be very funny, but the emotional bond attached to it makes it powerful. Private jokes also help people flirt without being too obvious. They create playfulness, test chemistry, and allow both people to share intimacy without directly discussing their feelings. Every repetition quietly says, "This belongs to us." Still, friends also develop inside jokes. The deeper signal appears when the person keeps creating new ones, uses them to regain your attention, and seems protective of the private connection they create. They may not only enjoy making you laugh, they may enjoy having a part of you that feels shared only with them. They get nervous when alone with you. When someone becomes nervous, the moment you are alone together, it may reveal that your presence carries more emotional weight than they can comfortably manage. In a group, they may seem relaxed, funny, and confident. But once everyone leaves, their words become less smooth, their hands become restless, or the silence suddenly feels charged. Attraction can make private moments feel exposing. Without other people around, there is no distraction to hide behind. They become more aware of your eyes, your voice, and the possibility that their feelings might become visible. They may speak too quickly, forget what they were saying, laugh at small things, avoid eye contact, or hold it longer than usual. Some people become unusually quiet because they are overthinking every word. Others talk constantly because silence feels too revealing. The strongest clue is contrast. If they are comfortable alone with most people but noticeably tense with you, the nervousness may be personal. They may also try to extend the moment while acting awkward inside it, showing that they are uncomfortable but still do not want to leave. This reaction often comes from wanting the interaction to go well. Your opinion matters, and that pressure makes natural behavior harder. They may rehearse what to say, worry about appearing boring, or become overly careful with small details. Still, nervousness can come from shyness, social anxiety, or unfamiliarity. The deeper signal appears when it is paired with warmth, attention, lingering, and repeated efforts to spend time alone with you despite the tension. They often appear where you go. When someone repeatedly appears in places you regularly visit, it may be more than coincidence. They may show up at the same cafe, attend events they once ignored, take the same route, or suddenly become interested in places connected to your routine. Attraction often creates a desire for proximity. Being near you gives them more chances to talk, observe your mood, or create a natural interaction without openly admitting they planned it. They may prefer situations that feel accidental because accidental meetings carry less risk than direct invitations. The strongest clue is repetition. One unexpected meeting means little, but when they keep appearing in spaces that matter to you, especially after learning your schedule, the pattern becomes harder to ignore. They may act surprised to see you, even though their timing seems unusually perfect. Sometimes they do not approach immediately. They may stay within sight, wait for you to notice them, or create a small reason to come closer. Their goal may not be a long conversation. Simply sharing the same space can feel emotionally rewarding. They may also begin liking activities because those activities increase access to you. A place they once found boring suddenly becomes interesting when they know you will be there. Still, this signal needs careful judgment. Shared routines and mutual friends can naturally create repeated encounters, and healthy attraction respects boundaries. The deeper sign is when their appearances feel intentional, warm, and connected to genuine efforts to know you. They may be placing themselves near your world because being part of it has started to matter. They check if you got home safely. When someone checks whether you arrived home safely, it may reveal that their concern continues even after the time you spent together has ended. The conversation may be over, the goodbye may have happened, but part of their attention is still following you. This kind of message often feels simple. Did you get home? Are you there yet? Or text me when you arrive. But beneath those words is a quiet emotional investment. They want reassurance that you are safe because your well-being matters to them personally. Attraction often extends concern beyond the immediate moment. They may think about the route you are taking, the time of night, the weather, or whether you seemed tired. Even after you leave, their mind does not fully let go of you. The strongest clue is consistency. They do not ask only when the journey is obviously risky. They check after ordinary outings, remember how far you are traveling, or stay awake until you respond. Their relief may become obvious once they know you are fine. Sometimes, this concern becomes a safe way to show affection. Saying, "I care about you," can feel too direct, but asking whether you arrived safely carries the same emotion without exposing too much. Still, thoughtful friends also check on each other. The deeper signal appears when the concern is especially focused on you, repeated often, and paired with other signs of closeness. When someone cannot fully relax until they know you are home, your safety may have become emotionally important to them. They explain themselves carefully to you. When someone carefully explains their actions, words, or delays to you, it may reveal that your opinion matters more than they want to admit. They do not want you to misunderstand them, think badly of them, or assume their silence means disinterest. They may explain why they replied late, why they could not attend, why they spoke to someone else, or what they truly meant during a confusing moment. The explanation may be longer than necessary because they are trying to protect the way you see them. Attraction often makes people sensitive to possible misunderstandings. When your approval matters, even small situations can feel important. They may replay conversations, worry that they said the wrong thing, or rush to correct anything that could create distance between you. The strongest clue is how differently they treat you from others. They may ignore other people's opinions, but become unusually careful with yours. If you seem disappointed, they quickly clarify. If you become distant, they search for the reason. This behavior can also reveal fear of losing connection. They want to remain in good standing with you, so they make sure you understand their intentions. Their need to explain is not always about guilt. Sometimes it is about emotional importance. Still, some people naturally over-explain. The deeper signal appears when their explanations are especially focused on situations involving you, your feelings, or someone who could make you jealous. When they repeatedly work to protect your view of them, they may be guarding a connection they value more deeply than they openly say. They defend you when you are absent. When someone defends you even when you are not there to hear it, their loyalty may reveal feelings deeper than ordinary friendliness. They correct unfair comments, challenge gossip, explain your side, or refuse to let others reduce you to a misunderstanding. This matters because there is no immediate reward. You are not present to thank them, admire them, or feel impressed. Their reaction comes from how strongly they value you when nobody is watching. Attraction often creates protectiveness around a person's image. When someone wants you, criticism of you can feel strangely personal. They may become uncomfortable when others speak badly about you because the version of you they carry in their mind feels worth protecting. They may say, "That does not sound like them." Remind others of your good qualities or explain what you are probably going through. Sometimes, they become more emotional than the situation seems to require. That intensity can reveal how invested they are in how others see you. The strongest clue is consistency. They defend you without becoming controlling, excuse nothing harmful, and still remain fair. Their goal is not to make you look perfect. It is to make sure you are understood. Still, loyal friends also defend one another. The deeper signal appears when their protection is especially strong, personal, and connected to admiration. If they repeatedly guard your reputation, remember your intentions, and speak well of you in rooms you never entered, they may be protecting more than your name. They may be protecting someone who has already become emotionally important to them. They notice when you withdraw attention. When someone quickly notices that you are giving them less attention, it may reveal how much your presence has begun to matter. You may reply more slowly, speak less, stop initiating conversations, or seem slightly distant. Even when the change is small, they feel it. Attraction makes attention emotionally valuable. Your messages, eye contact, laughter, and interest can become part of their emotional routine. When that attention suddenly decreases, they may feel confused, unsettled, or quietly rejected before they even understand why. They may ask whether something is wrong, become more talkative, send another message, or create reasons to pull you back into conversation. Some people become warmer and more attentive. Others act distant in return because they want to hide how much the change affected them. The strongest clue is speed. Most people may not notice a slight shift for days. Someone emotionally focused on you may recognize it almost immediately. They remember how you normally respond, so even a small difference feels obvious. Sometimes they begin watching your attention toward others more closely. If you seem energetic with someone else, but cold with them, their mood may change. This can expose feelings they have been trying to control. Still, noticing distance does not always mean romantic desire. Close friends also recognize changes. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly react to your withdrawal, work to regain your focus, and seem emotionally affected by losing even a small part of your attention. They restart old conversations. When someone brings back a conversation that seemed completely finished, it may reveal that they were not ready to let the connection end. They may return to an old joke, ask what happened after a story, mention something you said days ago, or suddenly continue a topic that no longer needs an answer. This often happens because the conversation stayed in their mind after you left. Attraction makes certain exchanges feel more important, especially when they created excitement, comfort, or emotional closeness. Restarting the topic gives them another safe reason to reach out without directly admitting that they simply wanted to talk to you again. The subject itself may not be important. What matters is that they remembered it and chose to reopen it. They may say, "I was thinking about what you said," or "You never finished that story." These words show that your conversation followed them beyond the moment. The strongest clue is repetition. They keep returning to shared topics, unfinished stories, or private jokes whenever communication becomes quiet. They may also use old conversations to rebuild closeness after distance, awkwardness, or time apart. Sometimes, restarting a conversation is their way of testing whether the connection still feels warm. If you respond with enthusiasm, they relax and keep going. If you seem distant, they may retreat quickly. Still, people revisit topics for practical reasons. The deeper signal appears when there is no real need to return, yet they keep finding emotional doorways back to you. They may not be interested in the old subject. They may be interested in reopening access to your attention. They send things matching your interests. When someone regularly sends you songs, videos, jokes, articles, or pictures that match your interests, it may reveal how often they think about what excites you. They are not only sharing random content, they are choosing things they believe will make you smile, laugh, or feel understood. Attraction often makes people collect small reasons to connect. A song becomes an excuse to message you. A funny clip becomes a way to enter your day. An article becomes proof that they remembered something you once cared about. The content may be simple, but the attention behind it is personal. The strongest clue is accuracy. They do not send generic things. They remember your exact taste, your unusual interests, or the details others overlook. This shows they are listening closely and mentally linking parts of the world back to you. They may also wait for your reaction. If you respond warmly, they become more excited, explain why it reminded them of you, or continue the conversation. Your response matters because the message was partly a test of connection. Sometimes this behavior becomes a quiet form of emotional presence. Even when they cannot see you, they still find ways to be part of your day. Each message says, without saying it directly, "I noticed this, and you were the person I wanted to share it with." Friends do this too, so one message means little. But when someone repeatedly sends things tailored to you, remembers your preferences, and uses them to keep contact alive, their interest may be becoming more personal. They ask about people around you. When someone keeps asking about the people close to you, it may reveal more than simple curiosity. They may want to know who you spend time with, who messages you often, who makes you laugh, or whether a certain person means something more. Attraction makes people sensitive to possible competition. They begin studying your social world because they want to understand where they fit inside it. A casual question like, "Who is that?" or "Are you too close?" may carry more emotion than the words suggest. They may ask about coworkers, friends, classmates, or people who appear often in your photos. Sometimes they disguise jealousy as harmless interest. Their tone stays light, but they listen closely to every detail of your answer. The strongest clue is repetition. They remember names, notice when someone appears again, and return to the subject later. If you mention a new person, they may become quieter, more playful, or suddenly eager to know whether that person is single. Some people ask these questions because they are trying to protect themselves. They do not want to become more emotionally invested if someone else already has your attention. Others are quietly comparing themselves, wondering whether they are more important to you than the people around you. Still, interest in your social life does not always mean desire. Close friends also ask about people you know. The deeper signal appears when their questions focus on possible rivals. Their mood changes with your answers, and they seem relieved when you make it clear that no one else holds the place they secretly want. They remember dates you barely mentioned. When someone remembers a date you mentioned only once, it may reveal how much importance they quietly attach to your life. A birthday, appointment, interview, exam, trip, or difficult anniversary may stay in their mind long after the conversation ends. Most people forget passing details because they do not carry emotional weight. But attraction changes what the brain chooses to keep. When someone cares about you, even a small date can become meaningful because it is connected to something you will feel. They may message you before an important event, ask how it went afterward, or remember the day without needing a reminder. That attention can feel deeply personal because it shows they were thinking about you when you were not present. The strongest clue is when the date had no practical importance to them. They did not need to remember it, yet they did. This suggests that your experiences have begun to matter inside their own emotional world. Sometimes they prepare around the date. They may offer encouragement, make themselves available, or avoid bothering you because they know you will be busy. Their care appears through timing. Friends can remember important dates too, so one moment proves little. The deeper signal is consistency. When they remember several dates, check in without prompting, and show genuine emotion about what those days mean to you, their memory may be carrying more than information. It may be carrying attachment. They ask your views on relationships. When someone begins asking what you believe about love, loyalty, commitment, or dating, they may be trying to understand more than your general opinion. They could be quietly checking whether your values match theirs and whether a relationship with you would ever feel possible. The questions often sound casual. They may ask what makes someone attractive, why relationships fail, whether you believe in second chances, or what kind of behavior would make you lose interest. But behind those questions may be a deeper curiosity. Would you choose someone like me? Attraction makes compatibility important. Before revealing feelings, people often search for emotional clues. They want to know what you expect, what you fear, and what kind of person earns your trust. Your answers help them measure their chances without forcing them to confess anything. They may listen more carefully than usual, ask follow-up questions, or remember your answers later. Sometimes, they begin comparing their own qualities to what you describe. If you say you value honesty, stability, or humor, they may suddenly highlight those traits in themselves. The strongest clue is timing. These conversations may appear when you are alone, after someone mentions dating, or when the connection between you has started feeling more personal. They may also ask whether your views have changed because they want to know whether the door is opening or closing. Friends discuss relationships too, but when someone repeatedly studies your standards, reacts strongly to your answers, and seems especially interested in the kind of person you could want, they may be gathering courage before revealing where they hope to fit. They lean closer than needed. When someone leans closer, even though they can hear you clearly, it may reveal a desire to reduce the space between you. The movement often feels natural, but it can carry more meaning than the conversation itself. Attraction creates a pull toward physical closeness. The person may angle their body toward you, lower their voice, or stay near your face longer than the situation requires. They are not always planning it consciously. Their body may move toward what their emotions already want. The strongest clue is necessity. If the room is quiet, there is plenty of space, and they still lean in, the closeness may be personal. They may also remain there instead of moving back once you finish speaking. This behavior can create a private feeling, even in a crowded room. By moving closer, they make the conversation feel separate from everyone else. Their attention narrows, eye contact becomes stronger, and the moment may suddenly feel more intense. Some people lean closer because they want to study your reaction. They may be testing whether you pull away, stay still, or move closer too. Your response helps them understand how comfortable you feel with the growing intimacy. Still, leaning in does not always prove attraction. Noise, poor hearing, or natural communication style can explain it. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly reduce distance, face you fully, hold eye contact, and seem reluctant to move away. Their body may be expressing the closeness they are not yet ready to request with words. They improve their posture near you. When someone suddenly straightens their back, lifts their head, adjusts their shoulders, or appears more composed when you come near, it may reveal an unconscious desire to look more attractive in your eyes. Attraction often changes body awareness. The moment they notice you, they become more conscious of how they are standing, sitting, or carrying themselves. Their body shifts from relaxed to alert because your opinion has started to matter. They may sit taller, pull in their stomach, open their chest, or stop slouching. These changes can happen within seconds and often before they even speak to you. The movement is subtle, but it can show that your presence activates a need to present their best version. The strongest clue is contrast. Around others, they may appear casual and unguarded. Around you, their posture becomes sharper, more confident, and more controlled. They may also adjust their clothes, fix their hair, or position their body where you can see them clearly. Improved posture can also be a way of appearing confident even when they feel nervous. They want to look calm, capable, and desirable, so their body quietly performs that image. Still, posture changes do not always mean attraction. People straighten up around authority figures during serious moments or when they simply become more alert. The deeper signal appears when the change happens repeatedly around you and comes with stronger eye contact, grooming gestures, and visible efforts to hold your attention. They fix their hair or clothes around you. When someone suddenly fixes their hair, smooths their shirt, adjusts their sleeves, or checks their appearance when you come near, it may reveal a quiet desire to look more attractive in your eyes. Attraction increases self-awareness. The moment they notice you, they may become more conscious of every small detail about how they look. Their body reacts before they have time to think, and grooming becomes an automatic attempt to present themselves better. They may run a hand through their hair, straighten their collar, adjust jewelry, or brush something from their clothes that was never really there. These actions often appear casual, but the timing makes them meaningful. The strongest clue is contrast. They may have looked completely relaxed a moment earlier, then become more polished as soon as you entered. If they also check whether you noticed, the gesture becomes even more revealing. Some people fix their appearance because they feel nervous. Attraction can create pressure to look good, especially when they want your approval but are unsure how you feel. The grooming movement helps them manage that nervous energy while also improving how they appear. Still, people adjust their appearance for many ordinary reasons. One gesture means little. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly groom themselves around you, improve their posture, hold your gaze, and seem more aware of how they look whenever your attention is close. They smile before you finish speaking. When someone begins smiling before you finish your sentence, it may reveal that their reaction is connected less to your words and more to the pleasure of listening to you. They are already emotionally engaged before the point is complete. Attraction makes people anticipate each other. They may know where your story is going, recognize your humor, or simply enjoy the way you speak. Their smile appears early because your presence has already created a positive response. The strongest clue is timing. They are not only laughing after the joke. Their expression softens while you are still talking. Their eyes brighten. Their attention remains fixed on you. And they seem genuinely pleased by even ordinary things you say. Sometimes the smile comes from affection rather than amusement. You may be explaining something serious or completely unremarkable, yet they still look at you warmly. This can happen when someone finds your mannerisms, expressions, or excitement attractive. They may also smile because they feel comfortable and emotionally safe around you. Your voice becomes associated with warmth, so their face responds naturally before their mind processes every word. Still, some people smile often out of politeness or friendliness. The deeper signal is consistency. When they repeatedly smile early, hold eye contact, remember your stories, and seem more interested in you than in the topic itself, their expression may be revealing that they are not only enjoying what you say, they are enjoying the person saying it. They hold eye contact longer. When someone holds eye contact with you longer than the moment requires, it may reveal an attraction they are trying to communicate without words. Their gaze stays even after the conversation pauses, as though looking away would end something they are not ready to lose. Eye contact creates emotional intensity. It makes people feel seen, exposed, and connected at the same time. When someone wants you, they may use that extra second of attention to study your face, search for your reaction, or quietly test whether you feel the same pull. The strongest clue is the difference in how they look at others. They may glance normally during ordinary conversations, but become more focused with you. Their expression may soften, their pupils may seem more attentive, and the rest of the room may briefly disappear from their awareness. Sometimes they hold your gaze confidently. Other times, the eye contact feels nervous. They look deeply, then suddenly break away because the moment became too revealing. Both reactions can come from the same emotion. They want closeness, but they fear being understood too clearly. Longer eye contact can also create silent flirting. Nothing obvious is said, yet the tension feels stronger than the conversation. A small smile, slower blinking, or repeated glances may make the moment feel private. Still, some people naturally maintain strong eye contact. The deeper signal appears when it happens repeatedly, feels warmer than usual, and comes with leaning closer, smiling, nervousness, and an unwillingness to let the moment end. They look away when caught staring. When someone quickly looks away after you catch them staring, it may reveal that their attention was more personal than they intended. The glance becomes uncomfortable only because they realize you noticed it. Attraction often pulls the eyes toward someone before the mind has time to create an excuse. They may watch your expressions, your movements, or the way you interact with others, but once your eyes meet theirs, they suddenly become aware that their interest may be visible. The strongest clue is speed. They may turn away instantly, pretend to check their phone, look at someone else, or act as though they were never watching. Their body may also become tense, their face may change, or a nervous smile may appear. Sometimes they look back again a few moments later. This repeated pattern can be more revealing than the first stare. They want to keep looking, but they also want to avoid exposing how interested they are. The reason this happens is often emotional risk. Eye contact can feel like a silent confession. If they are unsure how you feel, being caught staring may create embarrassment, excitement, or fear of rejection. Still, people look away for many reasons. They may be shy, distracted, or simply observing the room. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly watch you, look away only when caught, and become visibly different afterward. Their eyes may be revealing a level of attention their words are still trying to hide. They face you in groups. When someone keeps their body turned toward you in a group, it may reveal where their attention naturally wants to stay. Even while others are speaking, their feet, shoulders, or knees may continue pointing in your direction. Body orientation is often unconscious. People naturally face what interests them, makes them feel comfortable, or holds emotional importance. If someone wants you, their body may stay connected to you even when the conversation moves elsewhere. They may sit where they can see you clearly, angle themselves toward you across the room, or turn back toward you after speaking to someone else. The group may be sharing one conversation, but their posture quietly creates a smaller connection between the two of you. The strongest clue is consistency. They may briefly turn toward whoever is talking, then return their body to you. Their eyes may also search for your reaction, especially after they say something funny, bold, or personal. Facing you can be a subtle form of inclusion. It shows that they want you involved, want your approval, and do not want to lose track of your presence. Even without speaking directly to you, their body keeps you at the center of their awareness. Still, seating arrangements and room position can explain body direction. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly choose positions facing you, adjust when you move, and combine it with eye contact, smiling, and attempts to draw you into the conversation. Their body may be showing where their emotional focus already is. They mirror your gestures. When someone begins copying your gestures without realizing it, it may reveal a strong desire to feel connected to you. You cross your arms, and they do the same moments later. You lean forward, touch your face, or change your posture, and their body quietly follows. Mirroring happens because people naturally synchronize with those they feel comfortable around. Attraction strengthens this response. Their brain begins matching your movements as a way of creating harmony, similarity, and emotional closeness. The strongest clue is timing. The gesture is not copied instantly like imitation. It appears naturally after a short delay. They may match the way you sit, the way you hold a drink, or even the rhythm of your movements. This can make the interaction feel unusually smooth. Both of you begin moving, speaking, and reacting in a similar flow. Even if neither person notices it consciously, the shared rhythm can create a sense of chemistry. Someone who mirrors you may also begin matching your expressions and energy. If you smile, they smile. If you become serious, their mood shifts with yours. This shows that they are not only watching your body, they are emotionally tuning themselves to you. Still, people often mirror friends, family, and anyone they feel relaxed around. The deeper signal appears when the mirroring happens repeatedly, mainly with you, and comes with stronger eye contact, leaning closer, nervousness, and focused attention. Their body may be copying yours because part of them is already trying to move in emotional harmony with you. They find reasons to sit near you. When someone repeatedly finds ways to sit beside you, it may reveal a desire for closeness they are not ready to express directly. They may choose the empty seat next to yours, move when space opens, or create a practical excuse to stay within your personal space. Attraction often makes proximity feel rewarding. Sitting near you gives them access to your voice, expressions, reactions, and small moments others may miss. Even without constant conversation, being physically close can make them feel more connected. The strongest clue is choice. There may be many available seats, yet they consistently choose yours. They may arrive early to secure the spot, save a seat for you, or quietly shift closer as the conversation continues. Sometimes they use harmless excuses. They need to see something on your phone, hear you better, share an item, or ask a question that could easily have been asked from farther away. The reason may sound practical, but the pattern reveals the deeper intention. Sitting near you also allows subtle tests of comfort. They may notice whether you move away, stay relaxed, or turn toward them. Your reaction helps them measure whether greater closeness feels welcome. Still, shared seating can happen for ordinary reasons. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly choose proximity, remain close longer than necessary, and seem more engaged or relaxed once they are beside you. They may not only be looking for a seat, they may be looking for a place inside your attention. Your attention lifts their mood. When someone's mood improves the moment you give them attention, it may reveal how emotionally important your presence has become. They may seem tired, distant, or distracted, then suddenly brighten when you speak to them, smile at them, or include them in the conversation. Attraction makes attention feel rewarding. A simple message, compliment, or glance from you can create excitement because it confirms that they still matter in your world. Their energy rises not because the situation changed, but because you turned toward them. The strongest clue is contrast. They may appear quiet around others, but become playful once you engage them. Their voice may warm, their posture may open, and their expression may soften within seconds. Even a brief interaction can seem to reset their mood. Sometimes, they try to hide how much your attention affects them. They may act casual, but their smile becomes harder to control. If you withdraw again, their energy may drop, revealing that the emotional lift was connected specifically to you. Your attention may also make them more confident. They speak more freely, tell better stories, or become more expressive because your interest makes them feel seen. It gives them a small emotional reassurance that they may secretly crave. Still, people naturally feel happier around friends they enjoy. The deeper signal appears when your attention consistently changes their mood faster than anyone else's. When one look, message, or moment from you can make them noticeably lighter, their emotions may already be more connected to you than they are willing to admit. They tease you more than others. When someone teases you more than they tease everyone else, it may be their safest way of creating closeness without admitting attraction. The jokes give them an excuse to focus on you, study your reaction, and build a playful connection that feels different from ordinary conversation. Attraction often creates nervous energy. Teasing helps release that tension. Instead of saying something direct, they make a joke, challenge you lightly, or pretend to disagree just to keep your attention. The real reward is not the joke itself. It is the emotional exchange that follows. The strongest clue is selectiveness. They may be friendly with everyone, but their teasing becomes more personal, frequent, or playful around you. They remember your habits, bring up private jokes, and watch closely to make sure you are enjoying it. Healthy teasing usually feels warm, not cruel. They stop if you become uncomfortable, soften the joke with a smile, or quickly reassure you afterward. This shows that your feelings matter more than winning the moment. Sometimes, teasing is also a test. They want to know whether you can match their energy, tease them back, or handle a more intimate kind of attention. Your response helps them measure the chemistry between you. Still, some people naturally tease their friends. The deeper signal appears when they single you out, seek your reaction, become more animated around you, and use humor to create a private rhythm that keeps pulling both of you closer. They laugh harder at your jokes. When someone laughs harder at your jokes than the joke seems to deserve, it may reveal that they are responding to you, not only to what you said. Your humor feels more enjoyable because attraction adds emotion to the moment. They may laugh before the punchline, smile long after everyone else stops, or repeat the joke later because it came from you. Even simple comments can seem funnier when someone already enjoys your presence. Attraction often makes people more receptive. They want the conversation to feel good, and laughter becomes a natural way to show warmth, approval, and interest. It also gives them an excuse to hold eye contact, move closer, or keep the exchange going. The strongest clue is contrast. They may react normally to everyone else, but become noticeably more animated when you joke. Their laughter may sound fuller, their face may brighten, and they may look at you immediately afterward to share the moment. Sometimes they are also trying to encourage you. By laughing more, they show that they enjoy your personality and want you to keep talking. Your confidence rises, the interaction becomes easier, and the emotional distance between you begins to shrink. Still, some people laugh easily or use laughter to be polite. The deeper signal appears when they consistently react more strongly to you, remember your jokes, tease you afterward, and seem more interested in your expression than the humor itself. They may not only find you funny, they may find you emotionally irresistible. They ask thoughtful follow-up questions. When someone asks thoughtful follow-up questions, it may reveal that they are not simply waiting for their turn to speak. They are listening closely because your thoughts, experiences, and emotions genuinely matter to them. They may ask what happened next, how something made you feel, why you made a certain choice, or whether the situation still affects you. These questions go beyond surface conversation. They show a desire to understand the parts of you that most people overlook. Attraction often creates deeper curiosity. Someone who wants you may become interested in your childhood, fears, goals, memories, and private opinions. They are not gathering facts for no reason. They are slowly building a clearer picture of who you are. The strongest clue is memory. They remember your answers and return to them later. They may ask about an unfinished story days afterward or check whether something you were worried about has improved. This proves the attention did not disappear when the conversation ended. Thoughtful questions can also create emotional intimacy. Each answer gives them another doorway into your inner world, and they may respond with care rather than rushing to change the subject. Still, good listeners ask follow-up questions naturally. The deeper signal appears when their curiosity is especially focused on you, becomes more personal over time, and is paired with warmth, memory, and consistent attention. They may not only want to keep the conversation alive, they may want to understand the person they are quietly becoming attached to. They remember unfinished stories. When someone remembers a story you never finished, it may reveal that your words stayed with them long after the conversation ended. Most people forget incomplete details, especially when life moves on. But someone who wants you may keep wondering what happened next. They may bring it up days later, ask whether the situation changed, or remind you exactly where you stopped. That small act shows they were not only hearing you, they were emotionally following the story. Attraction makes curiosity more personal. The person begins caring about your experiences because those experiences help them understand you. An unfinished story can feel like an open door into your inner world, and they may want to return because the connection matters. The strongest clue is the detail they remember. They may recall the people involved, the emotion in your voice, or the exact question that was left unanswered. Their memory shows that the moment held more weight for them than you realized. Sometimes, asking about the story is also a safe excuse to restart contact. Instead of saying they missed talking to you, they return to something unfinished. The topic gives them a natural reason to come back without revealing too much. Still, attentive friends remember stories too. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly return to your unfinished thoughts, remember how you felt, and seem genuinely invested in the outcome. They may not only want the ending, they may want another reason to enter your world and keep listening. They share private details with you. When someone begins sharing private details they rarely tell others, it may reveal that they trust you in a way that feels emotionally important. They may talk about fears, family problems, past disappointments, hidden goals, or parts of themselves they usually keep protected. Attraction often creates a desire to be truly known. Surface conversation no longer feels enough. They want you to understand what shaped them, what hurts them, and what they secretly hope for. Sharing these details becomes a quiet way of inviting you deeper into their life. The strongest clue is exclusivity. They may say, "I do not usually tell people this," or become nervous before opening up. That hesitation shows the information carries emotional risk. By telling you, they are trusting you with something that could make them feel exposed. Sometimes they share private details to test your response. They watch whether you judge them, comfort them, or reveal something personal in return. Your reaction helps them decide whether greater closeness feels safe. This vulnerability can also create intimacy quickly. Once someone shows you a hidden part of themselves, the connection may begin to feel different. The conversation becomes softer, more serious, and harder to forget. Still, openness does not always mean romantic desire. Some people naturally confide in those they trust. The deeper signal appears when they consistently choose you, remember what you share in return, and seem relieved to feel understood. They may not only be telling you private things. They may be quietly asking whether you can become someone safe enough to hold their heart. They ask, "What type attracts you?" When someone asks what kind of person you are attracted to, they may not be making casual conversation. They could be quietly comparing themselves to your answer and trying to discover whether they fit what you want. They may ask about appearance, personality, values, confidence, humor, or the qualities that make someone stand out to you. The question sounds general, but their attention often becomes sharper once you begin answering. Attraction creates a need for reassurance. Before someone risks showing interest, they may want to know whether they have a realistic chance. Your answer becomes a private test. If you describe qualities they possess, they may smile, become more confident, or suddenly point out those traits in themselves. The strongest clue is how they react. They may ask follow-up questions, challenge your answer playfully, or seem disappointed when you describe someone very different from them. Sometimes they casually mention that they share one of the qualities you named. They may also ask indirectly, instead of saying, "What is your type?" They ask who you usually date, what first attracts you to someone, or why you liked a former partner. The wording changes, but the purpose may be the same. Still, friends sometimes discuss attraction out of curiosity. The deeper signal appears when they listen closely, remember your answer, and begin adjusting how they present themselves afterward. They may not only want to know what attracts you, they may be trying to discover whether they already do. They compare themselves to your exes. When someone compares themselves to your exes, it may reveal that they are quietly measuring whether they could become a better choice. They may ask what you liked about a former partner, point out how they are different, or react strongly when an old relationship enters the conversation. Attraction often creates comparison because people want to know where they stand. Your past relationships become a source of clues. They study the qualities you once valued, the reasons things ended, and the kind of person who previously captured your attention. They may say, "I would never do that." "You usually date people like that?" Or, "I am nothing like them." These comments may sound playful, but they often carry hidden emotion. They are not only discussing your past, they are placing themselves inside the possibility of your future. The strongest clue is how personal the comparison becomes. They may seem relieved when you criticize an ex, disappointed when you speak warmly about one, or eager to show that they possess the qualities your former partner lacked. Sometimes this behavior comes from insecurity. They may fear that they are not your usual type, or that your past still has emotional power over you. Comparing themselves helps them search for reassurance without directly asking whether you could want them. Still, people discuss exes for many reasons. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly compare, remember what you say, and subtly present themselves as the safer, stronger, or more compatible option. They may not only be curious about who you loved before, they may be wondering whether they could be loved next. They casually mention being single. When someone repeatedly mentions that they are single, it may be less casual than it sounds. They may bring it up during unrelated conversations, joke about having no partner, or make sure you know there is no one currently in their life. Attraction often makes availability important. If they want you, they may try to remove uncertainty without directly confessing interest. Saying they are single creates an opening while protecting them from rejection. They may mention that they spent the weekend alone, have no date for an event, or are tired of people assuming they are taken. The details may seem harmless, but the timing can reveal that they want you to notice. The strongest clue is repetition. If they keep returning to their single status, especially when talking to you, They may be hoping you respond with curiosity, flirtation, or information about your own availability. Sometimes they watch your face after saying it. A smile, pause, or sudden change in energy may show that your reaction mattered. If you show interest, they may become more open. If you seem indifferent, they can pretend it meant nothing. They may also compare single life with relationships, asking what you think or whether you enjoy being single. This lets them explore the subject without making their real question obvious. Still, people mention being single for many reasons. The deeper signal appears when they emphasize their availability, connect it to future plans, and seem especially interested in whether you are available too. They may not only be sharing their status, they may be quietly presenting themselves as an option. They test whether your compliments are real. When someone questions, jokes about, or returns to a compliment you gave them, it may reveal that your approval matters more than they want to admit. They may ask whether you truly meant it, laugh nervously, or pretend not to believe you while quietly hoping you repeat it. Attraction makes certain compliments feel unusually powerful. Praise from other people may be pleasant, but praise from you can become emotionally important because it answers a private question. Do they see me the way I want to be seen? They may say, "You are just being nice." Do you really think that? Or, "You probably say that to everyone." These responses often look playful, but underneath them may be a need for reassurance. The strongest clue is how long they remember the compliment. They may bring it up days later, repeat your exact words, or change their behavior around the quality you praised. If you complimented their confidence, style, humor, or intelligence, they may begin showing that side more often around you. Sometimes, testing the compliment is also a way to continue the flirtation. By doubting your words, they create an opening for you to explain, repeat, or strengthen them. The conversation becomes more personal without either person openly admitting why. Still, insecurity can make anyone question praise. The deeper signal appears when they especially seek reassurance from you, remember your compliments for a long time, and seem visibly affected by whether your admiration feels genuine. They enjoy being linked with you. When someone seems pleased when others connect the two of you, it may reveal that the idea feels emotionally rewarding rather than embarrassing. A friend may joke that you look good together, ask whether you are dating, or casually treat you like a pair. Instead of rejecting it quickly, they smile, laugh, or let the suggestion remain. Attraction often makes association feel exciting. Being linked with you allows them to briefly experience the possibility of closeness without having to confess anything. The joke gives them permission to imagine what it would feel like if others already saw something between you. The strongest clue is their reaction. They may look at you immediately, waiting to see whether you seem comfortable with the idea. If you smile, they may become more playful. If you deny it strongly, their mood may shift, even if they try to hide the disappointment. Sometimes, they encourage the connection indirectly. They may sit closer after being teased, continue the joke, or say something that keeps the possibility alive. They do not fully confirm it, but they also do not rush to destroy it. They may also remember the moment later and bring it up privately. This can be a way of testing whether the idea affected you too. Still, some people enjoy harmless teasing. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly welcome being associated with you, seem emotionally pleased by the suggestion, and pay close attention to your reaction. They may not only enjoy the joke, they may enjoy hearing someone else say what they secretly hope could become true. They deny liking you too strongly. When someone denies liking you with unusual force, the intensity may reveal more than the denial itself. A simple question could have received a calm answer, yet they become defensive, laugh too loudly, change the subject, or insist far more than necessary that nothing is happening. Strong denial often appears when a person feels exposed. They may fear embarrassment, rejection, teasing, or losing control of the situation. Instead of responding naturally, they rush to protect themselves before anyone can study their reaction too closely. They may say, "Absolutely not. Why would I like them?" Or, "You are imagining things," while avoiding eye contact or showing visible nervousness. Sometimes their words reject the idea, but their body tells a different story. The strongest clue is contrast. If they usually respond calmly but become unusually emotional when your name is connected to attraction, the topic may have touched something real. They may also check your reaction afterward, worried that the denial sounded too harsh or revealed too much. Some people deny attraction strongly because they do not want friends interfering. Others are not ready to admit the feeling even to themselves. The denial becomes a shield against emotions they have not yet accepted. Still, a strong denial can also be genuine, especially if the person feels uncomfortable or pressured. The deeper signal appears when the denial conflicts with repeated attention, jealousy, nervousness, lingering, and attempts to stay close. Their words may be pushing you away while their behavior keeps pulling toward you. Romance talk makes them awkward around you. When conversations about love, dating, or attraction suddenly make someone awkward around you, it may reveal feelings they are trying to keep hidden. They may become quieter, laugh nervously, avoid eye contact, or change the subject faster than usual. Romance talk can feel exposing when attraction already exists. Even if the conversation is general, they may worry that someone will notice their reaction, connect the topic to you, or ask a question they are not ready to answer. The strongest clue is contrast. They may discuss relationships comfortably with others, but become tense when you are nearby. Their voice may change, their posture may stiffen, or they may begin watching your face more closely. Sometimes they respond with teasing. They may joke about your dating life, ask who you like, or pretend the topic does not interest them. Humor gives them a way to stay involved while hiding the emotional pressure underneath. They may also become unusually careful with their words. They do not want to say anything that makes them seem unavailable, uninterested, or too eager. Every answer begins to feel like it could reveal too much. Still, some people naturally feel uncomfortable discussing romance. The deeper signal appears when the awkwardness happens mainly around you and comes with stronger attention, nervous laughter, sudden silence, or visible concern about your answers. Their discomfort may not come from disliking the topic. It may come from feeling that the conversation is getting dangerously close to something they are not yet brave enough to say. They tease you about admirers. When someone repeatedly teases you about people who may like you, the joke may be hiding a question they do not feel safe asking directly. They want to know who has your attention, whether you like anyone, and how much competition may already exist. Attraction often turns jealousy into humor, instead of admitting that another person bothers them. They joke about your secret admirer, mention someone who keeps looking at you, or playfully ask whether you have found a new favorite person. The strongest clue is how carefully they watch your reaction. They may smile while teasing, but their attention becomes sharper when you answer. If you deny liking anyone, they may seem relieved. If you show interest in someone, their energy may change. Sometimes they bring up the same admirer more than once. This suggests the subject stayed in their mind after the conversation ended. They may pretend it is funny, yet they keep searching for reassurance that the person does not matter to you. Teasing also protects their pride. If you respond warmly, they can continue flirting. If you seem uncomfortable, they can claim it was only a joke. This gives them information without forcing them to reveal their own feelings. Still, friends often tease each other about dating. The deeper signal appears when the teasing focuses on possible rivals, carries hidden tension, and is followed by questions about your feelings. They may not only be making fun of your admirers, they may be trying to discover whether any of them are standing where they secretly want to be. They ask why you are single. When someone asks why you are still single, the question may carry more curiosity than it first appears. They may be trying to understand whether you are emotionally available, difficult to impress, secretly involved with someone, or simply waiting for the right person. Attraction often makes people search for explanations. If they see qualities they admire in you, being single may confuse them. Their question can quietly mean, "How has no one chosen you yet?" Or even, "Would someone like me have a chance?" The strongest clue is the tone. They may sound playful, surprised, or unusually serious. Sometimes they add compliments, saying you are attractive, kind, intelligent, or too interesting to be alone. This can reveal admiration hidden inside casual conversation. They may also ask follow-up questions about your past relationships, standards, fears, or reasons for avoiding commitment. Your answers help them understand what might bring you closer and what could push you away. Sometimes the question is a safer substitute for asking whether you would date them. By focusing on your single status, they can explore the possibility without risking direct rejection. Still, friends may ask this out of ordinary curiosity. The deeper signal appears when they ask with emotional interest, seem relieved that you are available, and begin presenting themselves more clearly afterward. They may not only be wondering why no one has claimed your heart, they may be wondering whether there is still room for them. They praise qualities others miss. When someone notices and praises qualities that most people overlook, it may reveal that they are paying attention to who you are beneath the surface. They do not only compliment your appearance, success, or obvious strengths. They notice your patience, kindness, emotional control, honesty, resilience, or the way you make others feel safe. Attraction often makes people study the smaller parts of someone's personality. They begin noticing how you speak to people who cannot benefit you, how you handle disappointment, or how you stay calm when others lose control. These details matter because they reveal character, not performance. The strongest clue is specificity. Instead of saying, "You are nice," they explain exactly what they admire. They may say, "You listen without interrupting, remember what people tell you," or "Remain gentle even when you are tired." This shows they have been observing you closely. Sometimes their praise feels emotional because the quality has affected them personally. They may admire the way you encouraged them, protected someone, or made a difficult moment easier. The compliment becomes a quiet confession that your presence has left an impact. Still, thoughtful people naturally appreciate hidden qualities. The deeper signal appears when their praise is repeated, personal, and filled with warmth. When someone consistently notices the parts of you others miss, they may not simply admire what you show the world. They may be falling for the parts of you that only careful attention can discover. They notice when you are absent. When someone notices your absence quickly, it may reveal how much your presence has become part of their emotional awareness. The room may be full, the conversation may continue, and everyone else may seem unaffected, yet they still recognize that something feels different without you. Attraction makes people track presence and absence more closely. When you are there, your voice, expressions, and energy become part of the experience. When you are missing, that emotional rhythm changes, and they feel the gap before others do. They may ask where you are, why you did not come, whether you are okay, or when you will return. Sometimes they try to sound casual, but the speed of the question reveals that they had already been looking for you. The strongest clue is disappointment. Their mood may drop slightly, they may lose interest in the event, or they may keep checking whether you will still arrive. If you appear later, their energy may rise almost immediately. Sometimes they remember your absence long after the moment passes. They may mention that the place felt quieter, say you missed something funny, or explain what happened as though they wished you had been there beside them. Still, friends and coworkers notice absences too. The deeper signal appears when they consistently look for you, ask about you first, and seem emotionally affected when you are missing. Your absence may feel noticeable because your presence has already become something they quietly look forward to. They message after seeing you. When someone messages you shortly after seeing you in person, it may reveal that the interaction stayed with them after you left. The meeting may already be over, but emotionally, they are not ready for the connection to end. They may send a joke about something that happened, mention a small detail from the conversation, ask whether you got home, or simply say they enjoyed seeing you. The message may look casual, but its timing often makes it meaningful. Attraction can make a person replay moments. They may think about your smile, something you said, or the feeling of being close to you. Messaging afterward gives them a way to continue that emotional momentum without having to wait for the next meeting. The strongest clue is how quickly they reach out. If you have barely separated and they already find a reason to contact you, the interaction likely mattered to them. They may also bring up something that did not need another message, showing that the real purpose was continued connection. Sometimes they message because they want reassurance that you enjoyed the moment too. Your reply helps them understand whether the chemistry felt mutual or only existed in their imagination. Still, people often message friends after spending time together. The deeper signal appears when they do it repeatedly, extend conversations beyond the meeting, and seem unwilling to let the emotional closeness fade. They may not only be following up, they may be trying to hold on to the feeling of having just been near you. They reply faster than usual. When someone replies to you much faster than they normally respond to others, it may reveal that your messages carry unusual emotional importance. Even when they are busy, they seem eager to open the conversation and keep your attention before the moment passes. Attraction can make communication feel rewarding. Seeing your name may create excitement, curiosity, or relief, so replying becomes a priority rather than another task. They may answer within minutes, continue the conversation quickly, or seem ready with more energy than the message required. The strongest clue is contrast. They may be known for slow replies, yet become unusually responsive with you. Friends might wait hours, while you receive answers almost immediately. This difference suggests that the speed is connected to the person, not simply the phone. Sometimes they reply fast because they have been hoping you would message. Their response may feel enthusiastic, detailed, or designed to keep the exchange alive. Even a small message from you gives them a reason to reconnect. They may also respond quickly after periods of distance because they do not want to lose the opening. Your attention feels valuable, and they are careful not to let the conversation fade. Still, fast replies do not automatically prove attraction. Availability, boredom, or communication habits can explain them. The deeper signal appears when the speed is consistent, focused mainly on you, and paired with thoughtful answers, follow-up questions, and visible excitement. They may not only be replying quickly, they may have been waiting for you to reach out. They explain delayed replies. When someone explains why they replied late without being asked, it may reveal that they care about how their silence affected you. They do not want you to think they ignored you, lost interest, or considered your message unimportant. Attraction can make small delays feel emotionally risky. A late response may seem harmless, but to someone who wants you, it can create worry that you might misunderstand the distance. Explaining the delay becomes a way to protect the connection. They may say they were busy, tired, working, studying, or dealing with something unexpected. The explanation may arrive before the actual reply, showing that your interpretation mattered to them. The strongest clue is when they rarely explain themselves to others. If they normally respond whenever they can, but become careful with you, your opinion may carry more emotional weight. They want you to know that the delay was about circumstances, not lack of interest. Sometimes they apologize more than necessary or add extra details to prove they were not avoiding you. This can reveal nervousness about losing your attention. They may also try to rebuild warmth immediately by asking a question, continuing the old topic, or sending something playful. The goal is not only to answer, it is to repair the emotional gap created by the silence. Still, thoughtful people often explain delayed replies out of courtesy. The deeper signal appears when they consistently account for their absence, seem concerned about your reaction, and quickly work to restore the connection. Their explanation may be saying, "I was unavailable, but you were not forgotten." They revive fading chats. When someone keeps reviving a conversation that is slowly dying, it may reveal that they are not ready to lose access to you. The replies become shorter, the topic runs out, and the chat appears finished. Yet they suddenly introduce a new question, joke, photo, or thought. Attraction often creates resistance to endings. A fading chat can feel like emotional distance, so they search for another doorway back in. The new topic may be random, but the purpose is often simple. They want the connection to continue. They may ask something they could easily look up, return to an earlier story, or send a message that does not really require a response. These small attempts show that the conversation matters beyond the information being exchanged. The strongest clue is repetition. They do not revive one chat out of boredom. They repeatedly prevent conversations with you from ending, especially when there is no practical reason to keep talking. Sometimes they wait a few minutes or hours before returning, hoping the pause makes the message seem natural. They may say, "I just remembered something," when the real reason is that they missed the interaction. Reviving chats can also be a way of testing your interest. If you respond warmly, they gain reassurance. If you stay distant, they may pull back to protect themselves. Still, some people naturally enjoy long conversations. The deeper signal appears when they revive chats mainly with you, do it consistently, and seem emotionally relieved when your attention returns. They create small reasons to message. When someone keeps finding small reasons to message you, the reason itself may not be what matters. They may ask a simple question, send a random photo, mention something minor, or share information you could easily find elsewhere. Attraction often creates a desire for contact, but direct honesty can feel risky. Saying, "I wanted to talk to you," exposes too much. A small question feels safer because it opens the conversation without revealing the emotion behind it. They may ask for advice they do not truly need, send a joke connected to an old conversation, or mention something that reminded them of you. The message looks casual, but it gives them access to your attention. The strongest clue is frequency. One unnecessary message means little, but when they repeatedly create harmless excuses to reach out, especially during quiet periods, the pattern becomes more revealing. Sometimes, the original subject disappears quickly. Once you reply, they move into a longer conversation, ask follow-up questions, or become more playful. This shows that the first message was only an entry point. They may also choose reasons connected to your interests because they know those topics are more likely to receive a warm response. Each successful exchange gives them reassurance that the connection is still open. Still, friendly people message often. The deeper signal appears when the reasons feel increasingly unnecessary. The conversations regularly expand beyond the topic, and they seem especially pleased whenever you respond. They may not be searching for information. They may be searching for another moment with you. They often react to your posts. When someone consistently reacts to your posts, it may reveal that they are looking for low-risk ways to stay visible in your life. A like, emoji, comment, or quick reply can seem small, but repeated attention often carries more meaning than one dramatic gesture. Attraction makes people more alert to your online presence. They notice what you share, how often you post, and what mood your content suggests. Reacting gives them a reason to appear without needing to start a full conversation. The strongest clue is consistency. They respond to ordinary posts, not only your best photos or major updates. Even something simple gets their attention because the real interest may be you, not the content. They may also react quickly. This can suggest they check your updates closely or feel excited when you appear on their screen. Sometimes their reaction becomes the opening for a private message, joke, or longer conversation. Certain reactions can carry more emotion than others. They may choose playful emojis, repeat inside jokes, or leave comments designed to make you respond. The goal may be to create a small public connection that can later become private. They may also notice when you stop posting, change your tone, or share something that hints at your dating life. Their attention becomes more selective when the content feels emotionally important. Still, social media habits vary. Some people react to everyone. The deeper signal appears when their attention is unusually focused on you, repeated over time, and followed by clear attempts to keep the connection alive. They revisit your older posts. When someone likes, comments on, or mentions an older post, it may reveal that they have been exploring more than what you recently shared. They are moving backward through your online life, looking at memories, interests, and earlier versions of you. Attraction often creates curiosity about someone's past. A person may want to understand what shaped you, how you used to look, what you once enjoyed, or who mattered to you before they entered your life. Older posts become clues. The strongest sign is when the post is buried far enough that finding it required effort. They may accidentally like an old photo, reference something you posted months ago, or bring up a detail you never told them directly. Sometimes they revisit old posts because they miss you or want to feel close without messaging. Looking through your content gives them a private sense of connection while protecting them from rejection. They may also compare your past with your present. They notice changes in your style, confidence, friendships, or personality because they are paying attention to your story, not only your latest appearance. Still, social media browsing can come from boredom or general curiosity. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly remember old details, bring them into conversation, and seem especially interested in your past relationships or meaningful memories. They may not simply be scrolling through old posts. They may be searching for parts of you they were not there to witness because knowing more about your history makes them feel closer to the person they want now. They use your name often. When someone uses your name more often than necessary, it may reveal a desire to make the interaction feel more personal. They could simply say hello, ask a question, or respond normally, yet they keep placing your name inside the conversation. A person's name carries emotional weight. Hearing it makes communication feel direct, intimate, and focused. When someone wants you, saying your name can become a subtle way of creating closeness without doing anything openly romantic. They may use it when greeting you, teasing you, making a point, or trying to regain your attention. Sometimes, your name appears in messages where it is not needed at all. The extra use can show that they enjoy the feeling of addressing you personally. The strongest clue is tone. Your name may sound softer, warmer, more playful, or more deliberate when they say it. They may pause before using it, smile afterward, or hold eye contact as though the word carries a private meaning. Attraction can also make your name feel emotionally rewarding to them. It represents you, and repeating it keeps the conversation centered on the person they are drawn to. In group settings, using your name can help create a brief moment that feels separate from everyone else. Still, some people naturally use names often to appear friendly or attentive. The deeper signal appears when they say your name more than they say others. Use it during emotionally charged moments and seem to enjoy the reaction it creates. They may not only be addressing you, they may be quietly savoring the closeness your name gives them. They send casual morning or night messages. When someone regularly messages you in the morning or before bed, it may reveal that you are becoming part of their most private daily rhythm. These are the hours when people are usually less distracted, more emotionally open, and closer to their real thoughts. A morning message can mean you entered their mind soon after they woke up. A night message can mean they wanted one last connection before the day ended. The words may be simple, but the timing can carry emotional weight. They may ask how you slept, wish you a good day, mention something random before bed, or say goodnight even when the conversation already ended. These messages create a quiet sense of consistency, as though they are gently placing themselves at the beginning and end of your day. The strongest clue is repetition. One morning or night message may be friendly, but when it becomes a pattern, especially without any practical reason, it may show that they actively look for moments to stay close. Sometimes, these messages become more personal over time. They may share how they feel, tell you what they are thinking, or check whether you are still awake. Late hours often lower emotional defenses, making hidden feelings easier to reveal. Still, close friends may message this way too. The deeper signal appears when the messages are warm, consistent, focused mainly on you, and followed by visible disappointment when you do not respond. They may not only be greeting you, they may be trying to become the person your day begins and ends with. They share ordinary daily moments. When someone shares small, ordinary parts of their day with you, it may reveal that they want you involved in more than their exciting moments. They send a picture of their lunch, mention a frustrating task, describe something funny they saw, or tell you what they are doing without any practical reason. Attraction often creates a desire for everyday closeness. Grand conversations are not always enough. They want you present in the quiet spaces too, because emotional connection grows through repeated access to real life. The strongest clue is how unimportant the details seem. They may tell you about traffic, a song playing nearby, something their coworker said, or what they plan to eat later. The information itself may be ordinary, but choosing you as the person to receive it is not. These small updates can create the feeling that you are moving through the day together, even when you are apart. They are letting you see the version of themselves that exists between major events, where most people are never invited. Sometimes they share these moments to keep contact alive without forcing a serious conversation. A simple photo or comment gives you an easy opening to respond and keeps the emotional connection warm. Still, friends also share daily details. The deeper signal appears when they consistently choose you first, seem eager for your reaction, and gradually make you part of their normal routine. They may not only be telling you what happened today, they may be quietly showing you what it would feel like to belong inside their everyday life. They chat late, despite being tired. When someone keeps talking to you even after admitting they are tired, it may reveal that ending the conversation feels harder than staying awake. Their body wants rest, but emotionally, they are not ready to let go of your attention. Attraction often makes time feel less important. A short conversation stretches into an hour, then longer. They may say, "I should sleep," yet continue asking questions, sending voice notes, or introducing new topics. Each message delays the goodbye. The strongest clue is what they sacrifice. They may have work, school, or responsibilities the next morning, but still remain present because talking to you feels worth the tiredness. Their replies may become slower, softer, or more honest as their guard drops. Late-night conversations can also create unusual closeness. The world becomes quieter, distractions disappear, and people often reveal thoughts they would hide during the day. They may share fears, memories, hopes, or feelings that make the connection feel deeper. Sometimes they are waiting for you to end the conversation first. Saying goodnight themselves may feel like closing a door they want to keep open. They linger, send one last joke, then another, hoping you will stay too. Still, some people naturally stay awake chatting with friends. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly choose you over sleep, become more emotionally open at night, and seem reluctant to let the conversation end. They may not only be losing sleep, they may be protecting a moment with you that feels too valuable to surrender. They tell you news first. When someone tells you important news before telling most other people, it may reveal that your reaction carries unusual emotional value. Whether the news is exciting, stressful, embarrassing, or deeply personal, you are the person they want to reach first. Attraction often creates emotional priority. When something happens, their mind immediately moves toward you. They want to hear your opinion, feel your support, or experience the moment through your response. Sharing first becomes a quiet sign that you occupy a special place in their inner world. The strongest clue is timing. They may message you immediately after receiving good news, call you before telling friends, or say, "You are the first person I wanted to tell." That choice shows that your attention feels meaningful, not ordinary. Sometimes they share bad news first because they trust your comfort. Other times, they share success because your approval makes the achievement feel more real. In both cases, your reaction becomes part of the experience itself. They may also become disappointed if they cannot reach you. This can reveal that telling you was not just convenient, it was emotionally important. Still, close friends and family often receive news first. The deeper signal appears when you repeatedly become their first choice across different kinds of moments, especially when they also seek your praise, reassurance, and emotional presence. They may not only be updating you, they may be showing that when life changes, your name is one of the first their heart remembers. They seek your advice often. When someone regularly asks for your advice, it may reveal that your opinion carries more weight than they openly admit. They may ask what they should wear, how they should respond, which choice they should make, or what you think about a situation they could probably handle alone. Attraction often makes approval feel important. Your advice becomes more than useful information. It becomes a way for them to involve you in their decisions, understand how you think, and create more reasons to keep talking. The strongest clue is when they ask about small things. They may already know what they want to do, yet still seek your opinion. This can mean they are not only looking for guidance, they want your attention and reassurance. They may also follow your advice more carefully than they follow anyone else's. If you suggest something, they remember it, act on it, and later tell you what happened. That shows your words remain with them after the conversation ends. Sometimes asking for advice is a way of showing trust. They are letting you influence parts of their life because your judgment feels safe. Other times, it is a subtle test of compatibility. They want to know whether your values, thinking, and instincts align with theirs. Still, people naturally seek advice from those they respect. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly choose you, especially for personal decisions, and seem emotionally affected by your approval. They may not only value your advice, they may value the feeling of having you involved in their life. Your approval matters to them. When your approval seems to affect someone more than other people's opinions, it may reveal that they care deeply about how you see them. A compliment from you lifts them. A doubtful look unsettles them. Even a small reaction can change their mood. Attraction often makes one person's opinion feel unusually important. They want to appear intelligent, attractive, capable, kind, or emotionally strong in your eyes. What others think may matter, but your judgment feels personal. They may look toward you after making a decision, telling a story, or showing something they created. They want to know whether you are impressed, amused, proud, or disappointed. Sometimes, they adjust their behavior based on what you respond to positively. The strongest clue is emotional contrast. Praise from others may receive a polite smile, while praise from you creates visible excitement. Criticism from others may be ignored, but even mild disapproval from you may make them explain themselves or try harder. They may also remember your opinions for a long time. If you once praised their confidence, style, humor, or ambition, they may show that quality more often around you. Your approval becomes something they want to earn again. Still, people naturally value the opinions of those they respect. The deeper signal appears when your reaction consistently carries more emotional power than everyone else's. They may not only want you to think well of them, they may be hoping your admiration grows into something more personal. Your praise visibly excites them. When your praise creates an immediate change in someone's face, voice, or energy, it may reveal that your opinion matters more than they openly admit. A simple compliment from you can make them smile wider, sit taller, speak more confidently, or become unusually playful. Attraction often gives praise extra emotional power. Compliments from other people may feel pleasant, but yours can feel deeply personal because they want to be admired by you. Your words confirm that you notice them, value them, and perhaps see them as someone special. The strongest clue is the contrast. They may accept compliments from others calmly, yet become visibly excited when the praise comes from you. Their eyes brighten, their tone changes, or they repeat what you said as though they want to hold on to it. Sometimes they try to hide the reaction. They may look away, laugh nervously, or pretend the compliment means nothing, but their body still reveals the impact. They become more energetic, more expressive, or more eager to keep your attention. They may also begin showing the praised quality more often. If you compliment their humor, style, confidence, or intelligence, they may lean into that part of themselves around you because they want to create the same reaction again. Still, most people enjoy praise. The deeper signal appears when your compliments affect them more strongly, stay in their memory longer, and seem to change how they present themselves around you. They may not only enjoy being praised, they may be excited because the admiration came from the person they secretly want to impress. They remember your compliments. When someone remembers a compliment you gave them long after the moment passed, it may reveal that your words carried unusual emotional weight. They may repeat the exact phrase, mention it later, or continue smiling about something you barely remember saying. Attraction makes praise from one particular person feel different. A compliment from you may become proof that they were noticed in the way they secretly hoped. Your words do not simply flatter them. They stay inside their mind and quietly shape how they feel about themselves. The strongest clue is how clearly they remember it. They may recall where you were, what you said, and how you looked when you said it. This shows the moment was emotionally important, not casually received. Sometimes they begin emphasizing the quality you praised. If you said they looked confident, they may act more boldly around you. If you admired their humor, they may joke more often. They are trying to recreate the version of themselves that earned your attention. They may also bring the compliment back playfully, asking whether you still believe it or teasing you about what you said. This gives them another chance to hear the praise again without directly asking for reassurance. Still, memorable compliments can stay with anyone. The deeper signal appears when your praise affects them more than other people's, influences how they present themselves, and remains emotionally alive long after the conversation ends. They may not only remember the compliment, they may remember the feeling of being seen by you. They try activities you enjoy. When someone begins trying activities you enjoy, it may reveal a desire to understand your world and create more reasons to connect with you. They may watch a show you recommended, listen to your favorite music, try a hobby you mentioned, or visit a place you love. Attraction often makes people curious about what excites you. Your interests become more appealing because they are connected to your personality, memories, and emotions. By exploring them, they are not only learning about the activity, they are learning about you. The strongest clue is effort. They may try something outside their usual taste, ask for your guidance, or return later to tell you what they thought. This shows that your influence stayed with them after the conversation ended. Sometimes they use the activity as a reason to spend more time with you. They may ask you to teach them, recommend something else, or join them. The interest creates a natural opening for closeness without requiring a direct confession. They may also begin enjoying the activity because it makes them feel emotionally closer to you. A song, game, book, or place can become meaningful simply because it carries your connection. Still, people naturally explore new interests. The deeper signal appears when they consistently choose things linked to you, remember your recommendations, and seem excited to share the experience back with you. They may not only be trying what you enjoy, they may be trying to enter the parts of your life where they hope to belong. They want to meet your close circle. When someone shows interest in meeting your closest friends or family, it may reveal that they want to understand the world surrounding you. They are no longer satisfied with knowing only the version of you they see alone. They want to meet the people who shaped you, support you, and know you deeply. Attraction often creates curiosity about belonging. Your close circle represents an important part of your life, and meeting them can make the connection feel more real. They may ask what your friends are like, remember their names, or show unusual interest when you mention family gatherings. The strongest clue is effort. They may suggest joining a group activity, seem excited when invited, or carefully consider how to make a good impression. This shows that the meeting matters emotionally, not merely socially. Sometimes they want your friends' approval because they know those opinions may influence you. They may become more polite, helpful, humorous, or attentive around the people you trust. Beneath that effort may be a quiet hope that your circle will see them as someone who belongs beside you. They may also use the meeting to understand you better. How you behave with close friends, what your family values, and how others speak about you reveal parts of your personality that private conversations cannot. Still, friendly people may enjoy meeting new groups. The deeper signal appears when they remember your loved ones, seek their acceptance, and seem emotionally pleased when included. They may not only want to meet your circle, they may be wondering whether there could eventually be a place for them inside it. They proudly introduce you. When someone introduces you with unusual warmth, excitement, or admiration, it may reveal that they feel proud to be connected to you. They do not simply say your name. They add details, praise your qualities, or speak in a way that makes your importance clear. Attraction often creates a desire to show someone off. They want others to notice your intelligence, humor, talent, kindness, or appearance, because being associated with you feels emotionally rewarding. Your presence reflects something valuable in their life. The strongest clue is enthusiasm. Their voice changes, their expression brightens, and they seem eager for people to understand why you matter. They may mention something impressive about you before you can speak for yourself. Sometimes they introduce you differently from everyone else. Other people receive quick introductions, while yours feels more personal. They may stand closer, maintain eye contact, or watch how others respond to you. This behavior can also reveal a quiet sense of pride. They want you to feel welcomed, respected, and included in their social world. Your comfort matters because the moment represents more than simple politeness. They may later ask what you thought of the people you met or whether you felt comfortable. This shows that bringing you into their circle carried emotional meaning. Still, friendly and confident people often introduce others warmly. The deeper signal appears when they consistently highlight your best qualities, seem pleased to claim the connection publicly, and treat your presence as something worth celebrating. They may not only be introducing you, they may be showing others someone they already see as special. They mention you when you are absent. When someone brings you into conversations, even when you are not there, it may reveal how often you remain in their thoughts. A topic may remind them of something you said, a place you like, or a story involving you, and your name naturally enters the discussion. Attraction often makes a person mentally present even in their physical absence. They begin connecting ordinary moments to you because your opinions, habits, and reactions have become memorable. Mentioning you allows them to keep that emotional connection alive. The strongest clue is frequency. They do not mention you once because the topic requires it. Your name keeps appearing in unrelated conversations, jokes, plans, and comparisons. Friends may even notice how often they bring you up. Sometimes they speak proudly about you. They may describe your intelligence, humor, kindness, or something you achieved. This can reveal admiration they find easier to express when you are not standing there watching their reaction. They may also ask others about you, explain what you would think, or say that you would enjoy something happening in the moment. This shows they are imagining your presence inside experiences you are missing. Still, close friends often mention one another. The deeper signal appears when they speak about you warmly, remember small details, and repeatedly make you part of conversations that do not require you. You may be absent from the room, but not from the part of their mind that keeps returning to you. Their friends act knowing around you. When someone's friends suddenly smile, exchange looks, tease them, or behave differently when you appear, it may reveal that they know something you do not. Your name may have already come up in private conversations, and your presence activates a secret they are trying not to expose. Friends often notice attraction before the person admits it. They see how their friend talks about you, reacts to your messages, or changes when you enter the room. By the time you meet them, they may already understand exactly how important you are. The strongest clue is coordinated behavior. One friend may grin, another may step away, and someone may make a suggestive comment while watching both of your reactions. These small actions can feel strangely organized because they are responding to information shared behind the scenes. Sometimes their friends become unusually warm toward you. They may ask personal questions, encourage you to sit together, or create opportunities for both of you to talk alone. This can be their quiet way of helping the connection move forward. Other times, they tease the person more directly. They mention your name, raise their eyebrows, or laugh when you approach. The person may become embarrassed, defensive, or suddenly nervous because they know their feelings are being exposed. Still, friends sometimes tease without meaning anything serious. The deeper signal appears when several friends show the same knowing reaction. The person becomes visibly uncomfortable, and the behavior repeats whenever you are near. Their friends may be revealing a truth the person has only admitted in private. Their friends leave you two alone. When someone's friends repeatedly create reasons to leave the two of you alone, it may reveal that they have noticed attraction and want to give it space to grow. They may suddenly walk away, change seats, start another conversation, or invent an excuse that leaves you together. Friends often recognize chemistry before either person admits it. They notice the extra eye contact, nervous energy, private jokes, or the way their friend behaves around you. Leaving you alone can be their quiet way of encouraging something they already suspect. The strongest clue is timing. They may disappear just when the conversation becomes personal, when both of you seem comfortable, or when the person is clearly trying to get closer. Their exit feels almost too convenient. Sometimes they make the situation obvious. They smile, tease, or say something playful before leaving. Other times, they act natural, but everyone seems to understand the plan except you. Their friend may also react differently once the group leaves. They become more nervous, more open, or more focused on you. This change can confirm that the private moment carries emotional weight. Still, friends may leave for ordinary reasons. The deeper signal appears when it happens repeatedly, especially after they have acted knowing around you. If the group keeps creating space, encouraging conversation, and watching what happens afterward, they may be helping their friend get the chance they were too afraid to ask for directly. They defend you in disagreements. When someone defends you during disagreements, it may reveal that your feelings and reputation matter to them more than staying neutral. They may explain your side, correct unfair assumptions, or challenge someone who speaks about you too harshly. Attraction often creates emotional loyalty. When others misunderstand you, they feel uncomfortable because they see qualities those people may be ignoring. Defending you becomes a way of protecting both your image and the connection they value. The strongest clue is balance. They do not blindly agree with everything you say. Instead, they make sure you are treated fairly. They may admit where you were wrong while still refusing to let others disrespect or misrepresent you. Sometimes they defend you before you speak. They remember your intentions, explain the pressure you were under, or remind others of facts that support your position. This shows they have been paying attention to how you think and what matters to you. They may also become more emotionally involved than expected. Their voice changes, their posture becomes firmer, or they continue thinking about the disagreement long after it ends. That intensity can reveal how personally they experience anything that threatens you. Still, loyal friends defend one another too. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly protect your dignity, understand your perspective, and seem especially affected when others turn against you. They may not only be defending an opinion, they may be defending someone whose place in their heart is already becoming difficult to hide. They notice when you are mistreated. When someone quickly notices that you are being ignored, disrespected, embarrassed, or treated unfairly, it may reveal how closely they watch your emotional safety. Other people may dismiss the moment, but they recognize the change in your face, voice, or energy almost immediately. Attraction often makes a person more sensitive to anything that hurts you. Your discomfort can feel personal to them because they are emotionally invested in your well-being. They may become quieter, more serious, or visibly irritated when someone crosses a line. The strongest clue is how they respond. They may interrupt the behavior, change the subject, stand beside you, or check on you privately afterward. Sometimes they do not create a scene. They simply make sure you are not left alone with the pain. They may also remember the incident longer than you expect. Even after you move on, they remain bothered because they cannot easily forget seeing you treated badly. This can reveal that your dignity matters deeply to them. Some people show their concern through subtle protection. They include you when others exclude you, give you credit when someone overlooks you, or quietly reassure you when embarrassment makes you withdraw. Still, empathetic people naturally notice mistreatment. The deeper signal appears when they are especially alert to your discomfort, react more strongly when you are involved, and repeatedly work to restore your sense of safety. They may not only dislike unfairness, they may find it emotionally difficult to watch someone they want being hurt. They support you, even when inconvenient. When someone supports you, even when it costs them time, comfort, or energy, it may reveal that your well-being matters more than simple convenience. They do not only appear when helping is easy. They stay when the situation is tiring, awkward, or poorly timed. Attraction often makes effort feel worthwhile. A person may rearrange plans, stay awake longer, travel farther, or pause their own responsibilities because they do not want you to face something alone. The sacrifice may be small, but the willingness behind it is emotionally significant. The strongest clue is consistency. They do not help once for attention or praise. They keep showing up during stressful moments, difficult decisions, and ordinary problems that offer them no reward. Their support becomes dependable. Sometimes they try to hide the inconvenience. They say it was no trouble, even when it clearly required effort. This can happen because they do not want you to feel guilty or reject the help. Making your life easier feels more important than making sure you understand the cost. They may also remember what you need before you ask. They bring what will help, check on you later, or remain involved until the problem is truly handled. Still, loyal friends and kind people also make sacrifices. The deeper signal appears when their effort is especially focused on you, repeated over time, and paired with emotional concern. They may not only be helping because they are generous, they may be showing that when your comfort and their convenience compete, you quietly come first. They make your life easier. When someone consistently looks for ways to reduce your stress, save your time, or solve small problems before they grow, it may reveal that caring for you has become emotionally rewarding to them. They do not only want your attention, they want your life to feel lighter because they are in it. Attraction often appears through practical care. They may handle a task, remind you about something important, bring what you need, offer useful information, or remove an inconvenience you never mentioned. These actions may look ordinary, but the attention behind them is deeply personal. The strongest clue is observation. They notice where you struggle, what drains you, and which responsibilities make your day harder. Instead of waiting for praise, they quietly step in and improve the situation. Sometimes, helping becomes their love language. They may not know how to express affection with words, so they show it through effort. Fixing a problem, carrying something heavy, arranging a plan, or checking details for you becomes their way of saying, "You matter to me." They may also remember your routines well enough to anticipate what will help. Their support feels specific, not generic, because it is shaped around your actual needs. Still, thoughtful people naturally help others. The deeper signal appears when they repeatedly focus this effort on you, seem pleased when you feel relieved, and continue even when nobody notices. They may not only be making life easier out of kindness, they may be trying to become the person whose presence you would eventually find difficult to live without. They celebrate your wins deeply. When someone celebrates your success as though it happened to them, it may reveal how emotionally invested they have become in your happiness. Your achievement does not make them feel distant, threatened, or competitive. It makes them genuinely excited. Attraction often creates shared emotion. When you succeed, they feel proud because they have been paying attention to your effort, stress, and sacrifices. They know what the win cost you, so the result carries meaning for them too. The strongest clue is intensity. They may smile wider than everyone else, tell others what you achieved, remember the details, or keep praising you long after the moment passes. Their reaction feels deeper than ordinary politeness. Sometimes they celebrate the small wins most people overlook. They remember a difficult task you completed, a fear you faced, or a personal goal you quietly reached. This shows they are not only watching the final result, they are watching your journey. They may also make the moment special by calling, bringing something, planning a small celebration, or sending a thoughtful message. Their effort says that your happiness deserves attention. Still, supportive friends celebrate one another too. The deeper signal appears when your success affects them personally, your confidence seems to lift their mood, and they never make your moment about themselves. They may not only be happy that you won, they may be happy because seeing you become more fulfilled feels emotionally important to them. Your joy reaches them because part of their heart is already tied to what happens in your life. Canceled plans. Disappoint them. When canceled plans affect someone more deeply than expected, it may reveal that they were not only looking forward to the activity, they were looking forward to being with you. The restaurant, event, walk, or conversation mattered because your presence was part of it. Attraction creates anticipation. Before the meeting even happens, they may picture what you will talk about, how the time will feel, or whether the connection will grow stronger. When the plan disappears, they lose an emotional moment they had already begun enjoying in their mind. The strongest clue is the change in their mood. They may try to sound understanding, yet their energy drops, their replies become quieter, or their disappointment appears immediately. They may ask whether another day works before the cancellation is fully explained. Sometimes they pretend not to care because they do not want to seem too invested. They say, "It is fine," but become distant, less playful, or unusually silent afterward. Their reaction may reveal that the meeting carried more importance than they wanted you to know. They may also keep returning to the canceled plan. They suggest new dates, remind you what you were supposed to do, or make sure the idea does not disappear completely. This shows they are disappointed by the lost time, not merely the changed schedule. Still, anyone can dislike canceled plans. The deeper signal appears when plans with you affect them more strongly. They quickly try to reschedule, and their mood visibly lifts once another meeting is confirmed. They suggest one-on-one activities. When someone repeatedly suggests activities that involve only the two of you, it may reveal a desire for more private closeness. Group settings offer safety, but one-on-one time creates space for deeper conversation, stronger attention, and emotional tension that cannot easily develop in a crowd. They may suggest coffee, a walk, a movie, a quiet meal, or helping each other with something simple. The activity may sound casual, but the real value often lies in having uninterrupted access to you. Attraction makes private time feel important because it removes competition. They do not have to fight for your attention, watch you connect with others, or hide their reactions from friends. They can focus completely on you. The strongest clue is repetition. They keep creating situations where nobody else needs to join. If you suggest inviting others, they may seem disappointed, hesitate, or gently return to the original plan. Sometimes, the activity is carefully chosen around your interests. This shows they are not only trying to spend time with you, they want the experience to feel personal and enjoyable enough that you will want another one. One-on-one plans can also be a safe test of chemistry. They observe whether conversation flows, whether silence feels comfortable, and whether you seem willing to stay longer than planned. Still, friends spend time alone too. The deeper signal appears when they consistently seek private moments, protect the time from interruption, and seem more open or emotionally alive when they finally have you to themselves. They ask when they will see you again. When someone asks when they will see you again, it may reveal that the time you just shared did not feel like enough. The meeting may still be happening, yet their mind is already searching for the next chance to be close to you. Attraction often creates anticipation before separation has even begun. They do not want the connection to become uncertain, so they look for reassurance that another moment is coming. Asking about the next meeting helps them avoid the emptiness of an open-ended goodbye. The strongest clue is urgency. They may ask before you leave, suggest specific days, or quickly check your schedule. A casual "see you around" is not enough. They want something clearer because the possibility of not knowing when you will meet again feels disappointing. Sometimes they ask in a playful way to hide the emotional meaning. They may say, "So when are you coming back?" Or, "Do I have to wait another week?" The words sound light, but the question can carry real longing. They may also bring up future activities, unfinished conversations, or places you should visit together. These ideas create reasons for the connection to continue beyond the present moment. Still, friends naturally ask when they will meet again. The deeper signal appears when they ask consistently, seem relieved once a plan is made, and become noticeably disappointed when the next meeting feels uncertain. They may not only be organizing their schedule, they may already be missing you before you have even gone. They include you in future plans. When someone naturally includes you in future plans, it may reveal that they are beginning to picture you as part of their life beyond the present moment. They say "we" instead of "I," mention places both of you should visit, or talk about events months away as though your presence is already expected. Attraction often changes how people imagine the future. Someone who wants you does not only enjoy the time they have with you now, they begin creating mental space for more conversations, experiences, and memories that have not happened yet. The strongest clue is how naturally they include you. They may say, "We should try that. You would love this place," or "Next time, we are doing it together." The words may sound casual, but they quietly test how comfortable you are with the idea of continuing the connection. Sometimes, future plans become increasingly specific. They remember dates, adjust around your schedule, or return later to make the idea real. This shows they were not only speaking impulsively, they genuinely want the future moment to happen. Including you can also provide emotional reassurance. If you respond warmly, they feel safer believing the connection may continue. If you seem hesitant, they may quickly turn the plan into a joke to protect themselves. Still, friends often make future plans together. The deeper signal appears when they consistently picture you beside them, plan around your interests, and seem emotionally excited by experiences that involve both of you. They may not only be planning activities, they may be quietly testing what it feels like to imagine a future where you remain. They often choose your company. When someone repeatedly chooses your company over other available options, it may reveal that being around you gives them something they do not easily find elsewhere. They may leave a group to sit with you, turn down other plans, or stay longer simply because you are there. Attraction often makes one person feel more emotionally rewarding than the setting itself. The place may be ordinary, the activity may be simple, and the conversation may not be important. What matters is having access to your presence, attention, and energy. The strongest clue is consistency. They do not choose you once because it is convenient. They repeatedly move toward you, make space in their schedule, and seem more relaxed or alive when you are together. Even in crowded rooms, they may still find their way back to you. Sometimes, they choose your company in subtle ways. They walk beside you, wait for you, sit near you, or stay behind when others leave. These small decisions can reveal where they naturally want to be. They may also seem disappointed when circumstances separate you. If you leave early, join another group, or become unavailable, their mood may shift because the part of the experience they valued most is gone. Still, close friends often choose each other. The deeper signal appears when they consistently prioritize your presence, create opportunities to be near you, and seem emotionally fulfilled by even quiet time together. They may not only enjoy your company, they may be choosing the person who has already become their favorite part of the room. They stretch out goodbyes. When someone keeps extending a goodbye, it may reveal that they are not emotionally ready for the moment to end. They say they should leave, then bring up another topic, ask one more question, or remain standing near you as though something is still unfinished. Attraction often makes separation feel heavier than expected. Even after a simple meeting, the person may want a few more seconds of your attention. The goodbye becomes slow because leaving means losing the warmth, excitement, or comfort they feel around you. The strongest clue is repetition. They do not only linger once. They regularly delay walking away, send another message after leaving, or find a new reason to restart the conversation just when it seems complete. Sometimes they hold eye contact longer, smile without saying anything, or wait to see whether you will stop them from going. Their body may move toward the exit while their attention remains fixed on you. They may also use playful excuses. They suddenly remember something important, return an item slowly, or ask when they will see you again. The excuse gives them permission to stay without admitting that they simply do not want the connection to end. Still, some people naturally take long to say goodbye. The deeper signal appears when they stretch goodbyes mainly with you, seem disappointed when the moment finally ends, and quickly search for the next chance to reconnect. They may not only be delaying departure, they may be resisting the small emptiness that begins when your presence disappears. They hide jealousy as curiosity. When someone disguises jealousy as harmless curiosity, they may be trying to understand who has your attention without exposing how much the answer affects them. They ask who you were with, why someone keeps calling, or whether a certain person means anything to you, but their tone stays deliberately casual. Attraction often makes people sensitive to possible competition. They want to know whether someone else is moving closer to the place they secretly hope to occupy. Admitting jealousy would reveal too much, so they turn the feeling into questions that appear innocent. The strongest clue is their emotional reaction. They may seem relaxed while asking, but their mood shifts depending on your answer. If you say the person is only a friend, they become lighter, warmer, or more playful. If you suggest there may be interest, they grow quiet, distant, or unusually critical. Sometimes they hide jealousy through teasing. They joke about your admirers, call someone your new favorite, or pretend to encourage the connection while watching your face carefully. Humor protects them from embarrassment because they can deny caring if you notice the tension. They may also remember details about people around you more clearly than expected. Names, conversations, photos, and repeated interactions remain in their mind because they are quietly measuring emotional threats. Still, curiosity about your social life does not automatically mean attraction. The deeper signal appears when their questions focus on possible romantic rivals, their mood changes with your answers, and they repeatedly seek reassurance that no one else has become more important. They may sound curious, but underneath the questions, they may be protecting feelings they are not ready to name. They pull away after getting close. When someone suddenly becomes distant after a moment of emotional closeness, it may reveal that the connection affected them more deeply than they expected. A warm conversation, vulnerable confession, long evening, or intense moment of eye contact can be followed by silence, delayed replies, or unusual coldness. Attraction does not always make people move closer. Sometimes it makes them afraid. The moment the connection begins feeling real, they may worry about rejection, losing control, appearing too eager, or becoming emotionally dependent on someone who may not feel the same way. Pulling away can become a form of self-protection. They create distance to calm themselves, study your reaction, or regain the emotional control they felt slipping. Their withdrawal may seem confusing because it follows a moment that appeared positive. The strongest clue is inconsistency. They are not permanently uninterested. After creating distance, they often return, restart conversations, or behave warmly again once they feel safer. This push and pull pattern suggests conflict rather than simple indifference. Sometimes they pull away because they revealed too much. They replay the conversation, worry that you noticed their feelings, and become embarrassed by their own openness. Silence gives them time to rebuild the emotional walls they temporarily lowered. Still, distance should not automatically be romanticized. People withdraw because of stress, changing interest, or personal problems. The deeper signal appears when the retreat repeatedly follows intimacy. They continue watching you from a distance, and they return once they fear losing the connection completely. They may not be pulling away because they feel nothing. They may be pulling away because feeling too much suddenly became frightening. They return when you move on. When someone becomes more attentive only after sensing that you are moving on, it may reveal that your emotional availability mattered more to them than they admitted. They may have seemed uncertain, distant, or comfortable taking your attention for granted. But once you stop reaching out, focus elsewhere, or appear interested in someone new, they suddenly return. Attraction can remain hidden, while access feels guaranteed. As long as they believe you will always be there, they may avoid making a decision. The moment that certainty disappears, the possibility of losing you becomes real, and their emotions become harder to ignore. They may message unexpectedly, revive old jokes, react more often to your posts, or ask why you have become distant. Their attention grows stronger because your withdrawal has removed the comfort of knowing they still have a place in your life. The strongest clue is timing. Their renewed interest appears not after a random period of silence, but directly after you become less available. They notice that your energy has changed and begin trying to restore the connection. Sometimes, this reaction comes from genuine realization. Distance shows them what your presence meant. Other times, it comes from wounded pride, competition, or fear of losing control rather than real readiness for commitment. That difference matters. A person who truly wants you returns with clarity, consistency, and effort. Someone who only wants reassurance may become warm until your attention is secured, then withdraw again. Their return may reveal desire, but it does not automatically prove emotional maturity. The deeper truth lies in whether they are prepared to value you consistently, not only when the possibility of losing you awakens feelings they ignored while you were still waiting. Their consistency reveals their interest. When someone shows up with steady attention rather than occasional intensity, their consistency may reveal a desire stronger than dramatic words. They do not disappear for long periods, return only when lonely, or make you constantly question where you stand. Their interest appears through repeated effort. Attraction that is emotionally healthy often feels dependable. They reply, check in, remember what matters to you, and make time even when life becomes busy. They do not need a perfect opportunity to show care because their behavior has already become part of how they treat you. The strongest clue is stability. Their warmth does not vanish the moment they receive your attention. They continue investing after the excitement of the chase fades. This shows that they are not only attracted to uncertainty, they are interested in building something that can survive ordinary days. Consistency may appear in small actions. They keep plans, follow through on promises, return to unfinished conversations, and remain kind when they have nothing to gain. These quiet patterns often reveal more than intense compliments or sudden declarations. Someone who wants you may still have responsibilities, bad days, and moments of silence. Consistency does not mean constant communication. It means their overall behavior remains clear enough that you do not have to decode endless contradictions. Still, friendly people can also be dependable. The deeper signal appears when their reliability is paired with emotional attention, private effort, future plans, and a clear desire to stay connected. Interest that exists only in rare bursts can feel intoxicating, but steady effort creates safety. When someone repeatedly chooses to be present, their consistency may be expressing what they have not yet said directly. They do not only enjoy you occasionally, they want an ongoing place in your life. They invest time, effort, and attention in you. When someone repeatedly invests time, effort, and attention in you, it may reveal that the connection has become emotionally valuable. They do not only speak warmly when it is convenient, they make space for you through actions that require intention. Time is one of the clearest forms of emotional investment. Someone who wants you may adjust their schedule, stay longer than planned, or create opportunities to see you. They are giving you something they cannot recover, which makes repeated effort meaningful. Attention deepens the signal. They remember your words, notice your mood, and recognize small changes others overlook. Their interest is not scattered. It is focused enough to make you feel seen. Effort appears when the connection requires something from them. They travel farther, solve problems, plan thoughtful experiences, or remain supportive during difficult moments. They do not disappear the moment closeness becomes inconvenient. The strongest clue is balance. Their investment is not only designed to impress you once, it continues after they become familiar with you. They show curiosity about your inner world, respect your boundaries, and follow through without needing constant praise. Still, investment does not automatically guarantee healthy love. Some people give intensely to create obligation, control, or dependency. Genuine interest does not use effort as a weapon. It allows you freedom and does not demand repayment for every act of care. The deeper signal appears when their time, effort, and attention are consistent, respectful, and emotionally warm. Words can be rehearsed, attraction can be exaggerated, and promises can disappear. But when someone repeatedly gives meaningful parts of themselves to remain connected to you, their behavior may be expressing a desire too strong to remain hidden forever. They remember how you take things. When someone remembers how you prefer your food, drink, music, or daily routines, it may reveal that they have been paying attention to the practical details of your life. They know how you take your coffee, which seat you prefer, what makes you uncomfortable, or the small habits that help you feel settled. Attraction often turns ordinary preferences into meaningful information. The details matter because they offer opportunities to make you comfortable. Remembering them becomes a quiet way of proving that your words do not disappear after you speak. They may prepare something exactly the way you like it. Avoid a food you dislike. Lower the music because they know loud sounds bother you, or choose a place based on what makes you feel relaxed. These actions may look simple, but they show careful observation. The strongest clue is that you did not have to remind them. They remembered naturally and used the information later. This can make the gesture feel unexpectedly emotional because it reveals attention that continued when you were not present. Sometimes they learn your preferences without directly asking. They notice what you choose, what you leave behind, and what makes your expression change. Their interest makes them curious enough to study your comfort. Still, thoughtful friends, relatives, and coworkers can remember these things too. The deeper signal appears when their attention is especially focused on you and paired with warmth, anticipation, and visible pleasure when they get something right. They may not only remember how you take your coffee or which songs you love, they may be learning the small instructions for making you feel understood, because becoming someone who knows you well has started to matter to them. They find excuses to touch you lightly. When someone repeatedly finds harmless reasons for brief physical contact, it may reveal a desire to test closeness without making their attraction obvious. They may touch your arm while laughing, brush something from your clothes, guide you gently through a crowd, or let their hand remain near yours longer than necessary. Attraction often creates curiosity about physical comfort. A light touch allows them to measure your response while keeping the moment easy to deny. If you seem relaxed, they feel encouraged. If you pull away, they can pretend the contact meant nothing. The strongest clue is selectiveness. They may be physically reserved with others, but more expressive around you. The contact appears mainly during moments of laughter, emotional intensity, or private conversation when the connection already feels stronger. Sometimes, the touch is followed by eye contact. They look at you immediately afterward, searching for signs of discomfort, warmth, or mutual tension. Your reaction becomes part of the message. Healthy physical interest remains respectful. They notice boundaries, stop immediately if you seem uncomfortable, and never use attraction as permission to invade your space. Genuine desire does not ignore consent or pressure you into accepting closeness. Still, some people naturally communicate through touch. Cultural habits, personality, and friendship can explain brief contact. The deeper signal appears when the touch is repeated, focused mainly on you, and paired with nervousness, leaning closer, prolonged eye contact, and attempts to create private moments. They may not be touching you only because the situation allows it. They may be quietly discovering whether the physical distance between you can become smaller without breaking the emotional connection they are trying to build. They become more curious about your past. When someone begins asking about your childhood, past relationships, old dreams, and earlier experiences, it may reveal that they want to understand the story behind the person standing before them. Surface facts are no longer enough. They want to know what shaped your heart. Attraction often creates a desire for emotional context. They want to understand why you react in certain ways, what made you cautious, who influenced you, and which memories still carry meaning. Your past becomes important because it explains parts of you they are beginning to care about. The strongest clue is sensitivity. They do not ask questions only to satisfy curiosity. They listen carefully, remember details, and avoid judging experiences that made you vulnerable. Their interest feels personal rather than invasive. They may ask what you were like when younger, what your first dream was, or what past relationships taught you. Sometimes, these questions quietly help them understand what you need, what you fear, and what kind of closeness feels safe. They may also share their own past in return. This mutual openness creates emotional intimacy because both people begin revealing the parts of themselves that exist beneath present-day confidence. Still, curiosity about someone's history does not automatically mean romantic interest. Deep friendships can also involve personal questions. The deeper signal appears when they consistently connect your past to your current feelings, remember emotional details, and seem especially interested in how your experiences affect the way you love. They may not only want to know what happened before they met you. They may be trying to understand the roads that led you here, because part of them hopes your future path might eventually include them. They notice your silence. When someone notices that you have become unusually quiet, it may reveal how familiar they have become with your normal energy. Other people may continue talking, but they sense that something inside you has shifted. Attraction sharpens emotional awareness. When someone is focused on you, silence does not feel empty. It feels like information. They begin wondering whether you are upset, uncomfortable, tired, or quietly pulling away. They may ask whether you are okay, lower their voice, move closer, or find a private moment to check on you. Their concern appears before you explain anything because they have already learned the rhythm of how you normally behave. The strongest clue is accuracy. They can distinguish between your peaceful silence and the silence that comes from pain, disappointment, or emotional distance. This suggests they have been observing more than your words. Sometimes your silence makes them nervous because they fear they caused it. They replay what they said, explain themselves, or become unusually careful until your warmth returns. This reaction can reveal how much the connection matters to them. They may also protect your silence rather than forcing you to speak. Instead of demanding an explanation, they stay nearby, offer comfort, or give you space while making it clear that they are available. That balance shows emotional sensitivity. Still, empathetic people naturally notice mood changes. The deeper signal appears when they are especially tuned to your quietness. Remember what usually causes it and seem emotionally affected until you feel better. They may not only notice that you stopped talking, they may notice because your voice has become one of the sounds their emotional world now expects to hear. They create reasons to see you again. When someone repeatedly creates reasons to see you again, it may reveal that one meeting never feels complete enough. They return something they could have kept longer, ask for help they could find elsewhere, suggest continuing an unfinished conversation, or invent a small task that places both of you in the same space. Attraction often makes future contact feel necessary. Instead of leaving the next meeting to chance, they create a reason that sounds practical. This protects them from the vulnerability of simply saying, "I want to see you." The strongest clue is how unnecessary the reason feels. The question could have been answered through a message. The item could have been returned another time. The task could have been completed alone. Yet they choose an option that brings them near you. Sometimes they create continuity before the current meeting ends. They mention something both of you should do next time, promise to show you something, or leave a topic unfinished so there is a natural reason to reconnect. They may also choose activities connected to your interests because they want the next meeting to feel personal. The effort shows that they are not only searching for company, they are designing another experience with you specifically. Still, friends naturally make plans and find reasons to meet. The deeper signal appears when the excuses become frequent, the meetings gradually become more private, and they seem visibly happier once another date is confirmed. They may not only be solving small practical matters, they may be creating bridges between one moment and the next because the idea of letting the connection fade feels more disappointing than the risk of finding another excuse to return. They remember details you mentioned once. When someone remembers a small detail you shared only once, it can reveal more than simple good memory. Most people forget passing comments, especially when the conversation moves quickly. But when a person is emotionally interested in you, their mind gives your words extra importance. A favorite snack, a childhood fear, a place you want to visit, or a date you casually mentioned may stay with them because you stayed with them. This signal often appears quietly. They may bring up a song you said you loved, ask about an appointment you mentioned days ago, or choose something based on a preference you barely remember sharing. What makes this powerful is not the detail itself, but the attention behind it. They were not only hearing you, they were storing pieces of you. Emotional attraction makes people curious. Curiosity sharpens memory because the brain holds on to information connected to interest. When someone wants to understand you, even ordinary comments can feel important to them. Your words become clues about what makes you happy, what worries you, and how they can become closer to you. Still, one remembered detail does not always prove romantic desire. Some people are observant. The pattern matters. If they repeatedly remember your preferences, your stories, and your emotional reactions, it suggests that your presence carries unusual weight in their mind. There is something deeply affecting about being remembered. It creates the feeling that you are not just another voice in the room. When their actions show that your smallest words remained with them, their attention may be revealing what they have not yet found the courage to say openly. Their voice changes around you. A sudden change in someone's voice can reveal feelings they are trying hard to hide. When attraction is present, the voice often becomes softer, warmer, deeper, faster, or slightly more playful. The person may not notice the shift, but their body does. Emotion changes breathing, muscle tension, and vocal rhythm, causing their voice to respond before their words reveal anything. Some people speak more gently because they want to create closeness. Others lower their tone to sound calmer, more confident, or more attractive. A usually serious person may become lighter and more teasing around you, while someone normally loud may suddenly speak with unusual care. These changes often happen because your presence makes them emotionally alert. The strongest sign is contrast. Listen to how they speak with friends, co-workers, or strangers, then notice what changes when they turn to you. Their voice may become more animated, their laughter may sound fuller, or they may pause more often because they are carefully choosing their words. They may even stumble, repeat themselves, or speak too quickly when nervous excitement takes over. Attraction can also make people match your vocal energy. If you speak softly, they may soften too. If you become excited, their tone may rise with yours. This unconscious adjustment creates emotional harmony and helps them feel closer to you. Still, a changing voice alone does not prove desire. Mood, stress, and personality can affect speech, but when the change appears mainly around you, repeats often, and comes with stronger attention, longer conversations, and visible nervousness, their voice may be expressing what they are not ready to admit, even to themselves or anyone else. They match your speaking pace. When someone begins matching your speaking pace, it may be a hidden sign that they feel drawn to you. People naturally adjust their rhythm when they want a conversation to feel smoother, safer, and more connected. If you speak slowly, they may slow down. If you become excited and speak faster, they may quietly follow your energy. This often happens without conscious effort. Attraction makes people pay closer attention to how you communicate, not just what you say. Their mind begins adapting to your tone, pauses, and rhythm because emotional interest creates a desire for harmony. They want the interaction to feel natural, and matching your pace helps create that feeling. The most revealing part is the change. They may normally speak quickly with others, but become calmer with you. They may usually be quiet, yet become more animated when you are excited. This adjustment suggests that your emotional state matters to them. Matching your pace can also make you feel strangely understood. Conversations seem easier, silences feel less awkward, and both of you begin responding in a similar flow. That sense of rhythm can create intimacy before either person openly admits attraction. Still, this signal should be noticed as part of a pattern. Some people naturally adapt to everyone, but when they consistently match your pace, mirror your energy, maintain strong attention, and keep conversations going, it may show that they are emotionally tuning themselves to you in a way they do not do with others. They notice your mood shifts quickly. When someone notices your mood changing before you say anything, it can reveal how closely they are watching you. Most people only respond to obvious emotions. Someone who wants you may notice the smaller signs, the change in your eyes, the silence in your voice, the way your energy suddenly drops, or the moment your smile stops feeling real. Attraction makes attention sharper. A person who feels emotionally drawn to you becomes more sensitive to your expressions, tone, and behavior. They may ask if something is wrong even when everyone else thinks you seem fine. They may notice that you became quieter after a certain comment or that your excitement disappeared when someone entered the room. What makes this signal powerful is the emotional investment behind it. They are not only looking at you, they are tracking how you feel. Your happiness affects their energy, and your discomfort creates concern. They may try to cheer you up, change the subject, stay closer, or quietly offer support without making the moment feel heavy. Sometimes, they may even become unsettled when your mood shifts because they wonder whether they caused it. This can make them more careful, attentive, or eager to repair the connection. Still, emotional awareness does not always mean romantic desire. Some people are naturally empathetic. The deeper sign is consistency. When they repeatedly notice changes others miss, Remember what triggered them and respond with unusual care. It may mean your emotional world matters to them more than they are willing to say. They keep finished conversations going. When someone keeps a conversation alive after it has naturally ended, it often means they are not ready to lose your attention. The topic may be finished, but they suddenly ask another question, bring up something random, send one more message, or return to an earlier point just to keep the connection open. This signal is easy to miss because it can look like simple friendliness. The deeper clue is effort. They are searching for reasons to stay in contact even when there is nothing important left to say. The conversation itself may not matter as much as the feeling of still having access to you. Attraction often creates reluctance around endings. Saying goodbye means the moment is over, and someone who wants you may quietly resist that. They may stretch a short exchange into a long one, reply with another question instead of a final answer, or introduce a new subject just when the conversation begins fading. In person, they may linger, repeat something already discussed, or delay walking away. Through messages, they may send a joke, a photo, or a small thought that could have waited until later. These are often emotional extensions, not necessary communication. The strongest sign is consistency. Anyone can continue one conversation out of boredom or politeness, but when they repeatedly revive fading chats, avoid final replies, and seem to create endless reasons to talk, it may show that your attention has become emotionally rewarding to them. They are not only enjoying the conversation, they are trying to postpone the moment when they no longer have you. They mention things that remind them of you. When someone often tells you that a song, place, joke, meal, or random moment reminded them of you, it can reveal how often you occupy their thoughts. They are not only thinking about you during conversations. Your presence has begun following them into ordinary parts of their day. Attraction creates mental association. The brain starts connecting a person with certain feelings, memories, and experiences. A song may remind them of your voice. A restaurant may bring back something you once said. A small joke may make them picture your reaction before anyone else's. What makes this signal powerful is that it happens when you are not there. They are carrying pieces of you into moments you never shared. Then, instead of keeping the thought private, they choose to tell you. That often means they want you to know that you have become memorable to them. Sometimes, the things they mention seem insignificant. They may send a picture of something you like, quote a phrase you once used, or say, "This made me think of you." The object itself may be ordinary, but the emotional meaning is not. It shows that their mind is actively linking their world to yours. Still, one reminder does not prove romantic interest. Friends also think of each other. The deeper sign is repetition and emotional tone. When they regularly connect songs, places, plans, and experiences to you, especially with warmth or excitement, it may mean you are becoming part of how they interpret their everyday life. They notice who gets your attention. When someone closely notices who receives your time, laughter, or interest, it may reveal feelings they are trying to keep hidden. They may not openly admit jealousy, but their attention shifts whenever another person becomes important in the conversation. They may ask who you are talking to, why someone keeps messaging you, or how close you are to a certain person. Sometimes, the questions sound casual, but the emotional weight behind them feels different. They are not only curious about your social life, they are quietly measuring their place in it. Attraction makes people sensitive to competition. When they want you, your attention begins to feel valuable. Seeing you give that attention to someone else can create discomfort, even if they have no right to feel possessive. Their mood may change, their energy may drop, or they may suddenly become more interested in winning your focus back. They might interrupt more, become playful, move closer, or start telling stories designed to impress you. Others may hide their reaction by becoming quiet or pretending not to care. The strongest clue is how quickly they notice changes in your attention, especially when nobody else seems concerned. Still, this signal should not be confused with controlling behavior. Healthy interest respects your freedom. But when someone consistently tracks who makes you smile, who sits near you, and who seems emotionally close to you, it may show that losing your attention feels more personal to them than they are willing to admit. They remember your schedule. When someone remembers your schedule without needing reminders, it may reveal how much space you occupy in their mind. Most people forget casual details about another person's day, but someone who wants you may remember when you work, when you study, when you are usually free, or what time you normally get home. This attention often looks small, but it carries emotional weight. They may message you after an important appointment, avoid disturbing you during a busy hour, or ask how something went at exactly the right time. That means they were not only listening when you spoke, they were mentally keeping track of your life. Attraction makes ordinary details feel important. Your routine becomes useful information because it helps them know when they can reach you, support you, or create more time together. They may casually say, "Aren't you usually busy on Tuesdays?" Or, "You finish early today, right?" Those moments can reveal that your availability matters to them. Sometimes, they remember your schedule better than you expect because they are quietly looking for opportunities to connect. They may time their messages when they know you are free or suggest plans around your routine without making it obvious. Still, remembering one event does not prove romantic interest. Some people are naturally organized and attentive. The deeper signal is consistency. When they repeatedly remember your plans, check in at meaningful times, and adjust their own actions around your availability, it may show that your daily life has become emotionally important to them. They place themselves where you can notice them. When someone repeatedly places themselves where you can easily see them, it may be a quiet attempt to attract your attention without directly asking for it. They may sit across from you, stand within your line of sight, walk past more often than necessary, or choose a position where your eyes are likely to meet. This signal is subtle because they may never openly approach you. Instead, they create opportunities to be noticed. Attraction can make people want visibility before they feel brave enough to risk rejection. Being near you allows them to study your reaction while still pretending the moment happened naturally. They may become louder, more expressive, or more animated once they know you are watching. They might laugh with friends, adjust their appearance, or begin doing something that highlights their confidence. The behavior is not always dramatic. Sometimes simply remaining nearby is enough. The strongest clue is repetition. One shared space means little, especially in school, work, or social settings. But when they consistently choose positions close to you, move when you move, or appear where your attention naturally falls, their location may not be accidental. They may also check whether you notice them. A quick glance, a small smile, or a sudden change in posture can reveal that your reaction matters. Attraction often begins with the desire to be seen. When someone keeps entering your awareness without giving a clear reason, they may be hoping you notice their presence before they have the courage to reveal their interest.